You're listening to a beat by Genius. You are rocking with me. My parents comes all the time. If I ain't gravity moving, yeah, I'm that your faces lightning. What's up? The universe, my mental space is limitless as well. Yeah, my mentality capacity is limitless. All praises to the Allah. Common law that we already living in. I'm swimming, baby, elevate, jumping those dating picture. This me and you, we on this. Don't use words, our minds search thoughts between us. The vessel that we're rolling like a city with a dome. We moving through space, but I want you on me. I upload the vision, you download the data. We check the vessel for wicked teleportation panels. That will be moved to a room is the blink of an eye to use some more mind. More mentalities, speaking for the clarity. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. More mentalities, speaking for the clarity. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. It's limitless, totally free, no limits. It's unrivaled, supreme being with no nemesis. Superman citizen, that's the state I'm living in. Energy forever, the level never diminishes. 360 degrees to solve problems. Back in the days, at 38 revolved all of the demigods. 180 degrees and find the line at my right side. At night time, I'm accessing the Akashic records. In the day, I'm with the great seal, reveal lessons. To access higher levels inside. Cause one mentality can be reality with the mind. And sometimes a few get it, so listen. Others defy, like we come amongst the people, they receive it as sign. So maybe you'll be able to decode this rhyme. If I'm lost between the mind, if you use more mind. More mentalities, speaking for the gotta be. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. More mentalities, speaking for the gotta be. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. More mentality. Not to be confused with genius, high IQ or insanity. All we do is just breathe in, accelerate our mental to supernatural reason. Oh, we move with the season. Our intelligence improves with more moves. Oh, it's onward to a new biz. We're all reaching you with it. More mentality never lets us forget it. Junior man, you said it best. West Coast is our religion. It's the sign of the times that comes to mind when I isolate a thought and analyze the cause I'm trying to find the manifest before my eyes. Break it down, the reverse engineering. More mentality gets better every time that I hear it. More mentalities, speaking for the gotta be. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. More mentalities, speaking for the gotta be. Limitless possibilities, that's more mentalities. Don't check Junior BeatStars.com and GameACDOs.com. You're listening to Junior. Yo, Junior, what you doing? They ain't ready for this one. You are rocking with West Coast where the sun sets and more moon tries at the sky side like your guns at. Man, you ain't done with those guns yet. More magic is on the run, it can be yours if you hunt it. There it is, credit to Bobby, don't listen, Anubis was our melanin. That's right, I said Anubis. Melanin's connected to water, the moon moves it. Reacts to music, Anubis is like Junior. Turn up the mic, man, it might be a bumpy night. We ain't like the punks from Moonlight. We are bored, so of course hungry wolves at the door for hunger to Anubis. More moons gotta see what we do. More hunger to Anubis. More moons when the sunset west, we be asking for hunger to Anubis. We could meet with more moons, the answer's true. Hunger to Anubis. More moons, a modern Egypt or Hawaii. The Egyptian name was Anu. Changed when it moved into reach to Anubis. He represents more melanin in the body. He reacts to sound. He got you bouncing at the party. Got some power to Anubis. Praises to Allah. Boy, you think I'm walking around smiling all the time? It's not a smile, it's a snarl all the time. The truth is I'm walking around growling all the time. Listen, melanin's Anubis, more moves. I speak into it, 4 moves of bumping like my body's pumping up the fluids in my bloodstream. I found bloodline elements, more metals that ain't on the periodic table yet. More moves got me moving like I'm half Anubis, half blood. Give me God, babe, I made divine movements like Michael Jackson and Thriller. We on the proud. Baby, the greatest when the group be hunting it down for more. Upward to Anubis. More moves got us doing what we do. Upward to Anubis. More moves when the sun set west, we be asking for. Upward to Anubis. We commute with more moves, the ancestral way. Upward to Anubis. More moves from my head. This is modern day Egypt, right? Newest can help you maneuver the time. I'm speaking true straight to you like it. The lower reciprocity is bound to win. What you send out comes back to you again. So I move with more moves, a lunar eclipse to send. Onward to Anubis. No pretending I'm sitting in a Finding God's ready to win. New magical music from the West Coast. California walls and we after you, baby. Moving more moves with the tools you create. Anubis is power of speed. We think faster on our feet. Let them run away, I bet they won't escape me with onward to Anubis. More moves gotta see what we do. More onward to Anubis. More moves when the sun set west. We be asking for onward to Anubis. We could meet with more moves the ancestral way. Onward to Anubis. More moves of modern Egypt or top my head. More moves give us power in the setting of the sun. Onward to Anubis. Oh, senses are heightened, so let's start the onward to Anubis. Candlelight daylight, so run, baby, run. Onward to Anubis. JuniorBeats.beatstars.com. Y'all need to check JuniorBeats and Studios. I'm not really ready for these levels.
Islam, Moors, we're here once again. Canaanland Moors pop-up class. We got one for you today, Moors. We got one for you today. Want to send an Islam to all the Moors worldwide. And we're putting on the record today, even though we did already, but we're putting on the record today. Moors are a global people. There's not some little pocket in the Moorish Science Temple of America and that's it. This is worldwide when we say that we're Moors. Before we get started, we're just gonna take a quick quote from Rasta Livewire, African source, or africaresource.com. And this is titled The Ainu, Old Africans of Japan. The Ainu are the indigenous peoples of Japan and Far East Russia. Although the true number of Ainu descendants living in Japan is unknown, it is believed that only 200 pure-blood Ainu remain. Most of these upon Japan's northernmost island of Hokkaido. Although the Ainu have their own language, they do not have a written alphabet. The language and culture of the Ainus is under constant assault from the realities of the present life. Even the spoken language is becoming much rare. In Japanese history, the period between 10,000 and 400 BC is known as the Jomon period. And then you could also do your research on the Jomon people who lived at this time and are regarded as Japan's first major culture. Many scholars believe that the Jomon people were Ainu, or at least that the Ainus are descendants of the Jomon people. Ainus and Dramans differ from modern Japanese. Sampling analysis shows that modern Japanese are similar genetically to modern Chinese and Koreans. Archaeologists have found Japanese-style Jaman pottery fragments on Vanuatu, a Pacific island east of Papua New Guinea, dated to 3000 BC. This suggests a cultural connection between the two cultures living so far away from each other. The Ainus suffered and still suffer a lot of discrimination. They face discrimination in getting jobs and social benefits. Their children face discrimination and bullying at schools. They are called Ainus, the Japanese word for dogs, I-N-U-S. So you can do your own, research or whatever. Just wanted to put that out before we bring the brother on. So I was wondering if I should go live today. And I had some things to talk about. And then I got a call. And I didn't take it as nothing because, the call was a 917 number. We already know that area code. But then the Moor said that he's in Japan. Like, he's in Japan? What do you mean he's in Japan? So that was probably about 4 or something like that. He called me, 4:30. And we built for about an hour. And then said, you know what? Let's just go live and we'll just do the build all over again. So there's a lot more. Islam. Hey. Just put your appellation on the record and all that, and let's get this thing kicked off.
All right. Yes, I am Dionysus Merlin Patel, originally from California, but I went to school in Ohio, and after that, I was like, man, let me get out for a while. So I hopped over the pond, and here I am.
Islam.
In Kawasaki.
Islam. So let's start with the journey leading up to where you are now. How you end up across the pond.
Right. So that was we all know the education system is the education system, right? You're not gonna go there and get too much, that you can really do something with. I mean, you might learn a couple of things, but the real gold of university experience is meeting the people. So, and that's what I did. I went there. I met a lot of international people there. There was, there's brothers, sisters that was staying clicked up with other brothers and sisters, and that's cool. But you don't expand that way. So I was like, let me see what the world has to offer. That's here in this small town in Ohio. So me and my friends, we started meeting international people. We made little groups. I met some Japanese people. We helped them out with their homework and stuff like that. And then one of them actually invited me to come to Japan, like as a thanks, for helping him when he, was over in America and stuff. So, and I did. I hadn't finished school yet, but I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go over there with you. And I came to Japan for 2 weeks, Yokohama. It was great. It was like wow, like, man, this is a nice place. So I went back to school and was like telling everybody, like, yo, when I graduate, that's where I'm going. And actually that started a little movement, and several of us came out here after graduation. So and they still out here too. So yeah, that's the
now when you first went out there, what was the interaction with the Nihon people like? Was it, cause we see, we might watch YouTube and all that stuff, and you hear,
right,
Negroes go to Japan and they're talking about these people are racist and stuff like that, and they don't like black people in Japan or whatever. What was the vibe like?
Man, the Japanese people are polite, but they are not friendly. That means they'll be cordial and they'll speak with with all of the correct etiquette and all this other stuff. But just in terms of like, in North America, wherever, Canada, anywhere in America, you can talk to people, but you can't really do that out here. It ain't like walking up on the street, hey man, what's up? Because people they don't really do that to each other, even amongst their own people. So they pretty much kind of create like invisible barriers. But in terms of foreigners, they'll be a little bit more open, because they want to show that the quality of their nation, so to speak. So but about the whole black stuff, man. Look, Japanese people, they don't like anybody, basically. That means everybody's considered gaijin, which means outside people. So I meet Caucasians all the time to come up, man, I can't believe they wouldn't give me an apartment. Oh, they wouldn't let me there because I'm a foreigner. And I'm like, man, hey, welcome to the real world. This is why I left from where you was at. Because, so now you get to see what it's like.
Now let me ask you this question. We have this issue in North America with foreigners, namely Europeans, coming here and claiming to be American and stuff like that. Would you ever have a European or a foreigner be allowed to go to Japan and claim that they're that?
No, it's pretty much impossible. The only way that I've seen that happen, and I only seen it once, was with a dude that actually changed his nationality. Like he stopped being American and he gave up his U.S. passport and he changed his nationality. He's like, I'm considered Japanese. I have a Japanese passport. That's the only time I've ever seen that. But nobody, as far as coming over and saying, wearing the clothes, and it's, for example, hip hop culture, whatever. You get people like Eminem walking around, they using the N-word. You can't do that here. You can't do it. It's always impossible.
Now, do they? One of the Moors was asking, what do they refer to our people as there?
Okay, so there's a word. It's kind of funny, actually. The word that they use for black people is called kokujin. Koku. Koku means kudo. Kudo is another way of saying koku, which means black. So it's like black person, right? Kokujin. And my brother, when he was over here for 2 years. Rockham Hotel L. He was over here for 2 years, and he said, they saying Coco Jean? That's, man, he was trying to get heated up. I'm like, no, it's not Coco. it's Coco. But yeah, same.
But that's the same thing that went in my mind when you said it. Immediately I went to Coco, right? And then when I went to Coco, I went to Choctaw.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right? Because Choctaw is chocolate people.
Yeah.
Right? And then and then cocoa, steaming hot cocoa before bed or whatever, is brown.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So
there you go. They okay, here's an example. Around 1800s, I believe, there was some Portuguese missionaries that came over here, and they brought an African person with them. I forget which area of the continent he's from, but dude, because he was so dark, he gained a lot of notoriety or whatever. And one of the powerful warlords, Nobunaga was like, let me see this guy. He had him take his shirt off and scrubbed him. They scrubbed him because they thought he was wearing pants. And nothing, after nothing came off of him, it was like, be in my employment. So, he started working for him. They called him Kudosuke. that was a kind of that's a kind of a Japanese way of the ending. Ske is like it's like a common ending for a guy's name, but when you put Kurosuke, it's like black and like the common ending. So it's like black guy, you know what they call it. So they got their little trick with their words, man. You know, they got their trick with their words.
Right. Yeah. So when we were talking, we were talking about you've been studying for about 7 years. What different schools of thought did you come through to be where you're at right now?
Man, that's a good one. The first one, I'd say the first one was like just in dealing with consciousness, like awareness. You know, that was the first paradigm that I really went into, and that kind of moved me over into Buddhism. I went to Thailand to go to some temples and stuff. But I should back up. Egypt was right after that. So it's consciousness and then Egypt. And then there was the whole Buddhist thing. But, you know, the Egypt was kind of like the Kemetic sciences was the base of everything, you know. So it was like from Kemet, I could build, okay, well, you know, the Buddhism and it's all connected. It's all connected. So I went from basic consciousness to conscious awareness to Kemetic science to Buddhism. Then, like from there, it was like it's all ours anyway. So you know, why not? I shouldn't be judgmental or you know
discriminatory.
I just jumped in. That's right. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. That's why you're the God, man. The words out my head, man. There you go. Yeah. So that was then you know and you know we even look into magic as well, because you know I mean it's all ours, and it's just energy, you know, it's all energy. So you know there's Yoruba, Santeria, you know that I'm not saying I'm a practitioner. So, you know,
oh, it's all good. It's all good if you draw your pentagrams, yo. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You got some Moors in the chat. They draw pentagrams too and all that. They know all of the Solomon seals, and they'll call some demons on some people. You don't worry.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Now you brought up let me put this one out there. The Moors are asking about do they know about the Moors, or is that a foreign concept, or is it something but called something different?
That is an excellent question. Whoever asked that, thank you, because they have no idea. They have no idea, and when you bring it up to them, it's like just as Cujo said in the beginning about the Ainu people, that information about the Ainu people, that's you know public record. That's should be in everybody's brain, but they push that behind. They push that to the back of thought, so they don't really deal with it. So if you ask them about Ainu, they'll say, "Yeah, Ainu," and they know it, but they don't want to touch it. They don't want to touch it. Moors, that's like I might as well say Mars. You know, they go, Martian. Oh, they'll know Martian before they know Moor, which is really the same thing if you think about it.
Right. Now, one of the Moors said that he always wondered about the title Sa Moor I.
Hey, genius right there. That's genius right there, because it's kanji, right? Their writing style. So this is what they do. They'll have a kanji, a character to represent something, and it'll be that. And then later, for political reasons or whatever, they'll go back and kind of change that and say, no, it can, because kanji can be read different ways. So they'll say, no, it's not that meaning, it's this meaning. And then people forget about the original meaning, and it'll go. But Moor, that's that. He picked it out. That's decoding right there. That's it. That's what it is. It's the Moor. But if you tell them that, they will say, every Japanese that you tell that to will say that's not. No, it's not that, because they drinking the oolong cha, Japanese, the green tea. They drinking that green tea. So they got they don't have that idea.
Right.
But the brother's right.
Now do you think that's like the European inferiority complex, that they don't want to deal with the fact that they're second there, or third or fourth or whatever like that? They're not the originals.
It's partially it is, but that's also their own pride, right? They don't want to admit that somebody was here before them. The European, because you got Japanese for a long time. When Europeans came over here, they killed them. Like they closed the gates. Christians was trying to come into the south part of Japan. Man, they would catch them and literally cut their heads off. Like, they was like no Christians in there. And then they closed their borders for another 200, 300 years. So with nobody getting in here. That's why they so like they are today with dealing with foreigners, because they was basically closed off from the rest of the world for about 300 years, because the Christians was trying to sneak in here, and they was converting people down in the southern areas of Japan. They was converting. And they was like, nah. The head leaders was like, nah, we not having it. So they was like slicing dudes up. Missionaries, they cut those French, the Jesuits coming over here, they cut them up.
Yeah, wow.
And they people, they cut their people up too. Like, you Christian, no, we don't have that.
Okay, so
it was a
dirty
quarantine. It was like a purging.
Right. So in the culture over there, obviously, if they're gonna deal with that, or if they're gonna deal with converts, if you will, of their own nation like that. So obviously they don't play with corruption and unconstitutional people over there.
They didn't. But after the Meiji period, which is the Meiji period is the period right after Edo. So whenever you watch anything about Japanese, you see them with the samurai swords and they doing all that. That's Edo period. And everything in the Edo period, because you, like the brother said about the samurai, you couldn't be samurai if you didn't have a drop of Ainu blood. You had to have some type of Moor in you. Because that's all Moorish. It's all Moorish over here. The Moors started all of that, the culture and everything. Then it got twisted up, and they started letting go of it. And at Meiji period, which is right after the Edo, that's when the Europeans came over, and they started wearing Western clothes. They started having the monocle, little glass piece, hanging at they was the pocket watches, and they was just I think that's when Japan went off track, if you ask me. And there's a lot of Japanese that agree with that too.
One of the Moors was asking, how do they look at the mother there, the matriarchal perspective?
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great question, because the fact is that the woman has power. That's the fact. But on the surface, the male has the power, and women get less pay. They don't give them certain jobs. It's kind of like how America was in the 50s and the 40s, with women, couldn't do too much. A housewife is the top goal of every woman in Japan, even to today. But the truth is that the woman, they run the stuff. Like they get the male goes to work, and he gives all of the salary, all of his earnings to the wife, and she manages it, and she gives him an allowance, a little bit too. That, and so she's really running everything.
Hold on. Say that part again.
Okay. Like from the start, or let me back up.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Just go over that again. Because that might be a lot for people to grasp. How
okay.
Like, because as Moors, we push the matriarchal perspective, right? And then everybody looks at Moors like, nah, you can't do that. Look at the black women and how their mind is. You can't have them have control or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Right? But
yeah.
You know, like you were saying, that's the foundation. The surface might be patriarchal. Right? The surface might be patriarchal, but the undertone is definitely matriarch. But yeah, you could say that again.
Exactly. Yo, you worded it beautifully. That's what it is. That's what it is. It the thing is, like we said, Moors set up the society, and they taught the Asians that came over later. Just like the same with the Americas. The Asians came over, and they mixed in with the people. The same situation happened over here. It's no different. But the only difference is that when the Moors got bred out, or like they not bred out, but overpopulated, because Asians eat and they grow, and when they overpopulate, they push the Moors to the forest. They was to the forest, and they kind of kept the same traditions that they learned, but they didn't have the creativity to expand it or grow it. So they're still running with that, but it's been a little bit corrupted, but it's still basically that. So that's the female has all of the power. She tells this man what to do. She tells him to give her his salary, and he does it with no complaint. I got a saying in Japanese. It says "Ganna wa genki lusu ga ii," and it means if the husband is healthy, it's better if he's out of the house. And that's how they operate. And all of the females know this. Like, the husband he's an appendage. He's the work for them.
He's an appendage.
Yeah, he's
of the family. To the wife. Okay.
Wow. Yes, that's right. To the wife. To the wife. He's like her hand.
Right. And they have no issue with that.
They have no issue. They want it. They want it because.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
I was just gonna say because really they just want another mother. The males want another mother, right? That's what they ain't. Look, man, y'all watch the TV shows and stuff. They ain't like that, man. They're not like they masculine and samurai like these dudes. Is like beanstalks, man. Not tall, but I mean like flimsy.
Yeah.
They used to have a spine back in the day. They used to have it. That's what is glamorizing in TV. But over here, man, they put the suit on and they do what they told. A corporate slave.
Yeah, but a corporate slave to the mother.
To the mother. That's right. Yep.
That is real.
Exactly.
Now, do you think that has anything to do with why their society is how it is? Like, them taking the forefront in technology and certain things.
You mean the
whole matriarchal perspective, is that or is it something separate as far as the society and how they project to everybody else?
That's the left brain male side. That technology is the left brain male side. That's the we've all seen ants walking in a little line going to the anthill like that. They just do their job and they do it well. That's the male side. So if the right brain is female and the left brain is male, then that's what that technology is. That's all the left brain. That's all the male side. That's what they do after they put out the house.
Now, what are some misconceptions people have about their being from over here? Like, what are some things that people take for, like, for example, one of the Moors out here, Brother Omar, his empress is from Nihon, and she has a issue, for example, grasping like how come we have to have classes to know about ourselves, and how come we have to do certain things because it's supposed to, like, you know, shouldn't that be common information to your people or whatever? So the appearance is like, you know, they never got conquered, or they never got certain treatments. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So like,
that's right.
You know, like what are some things that here compared to there that people should know? Let's just say they decide to go to Japan one day, you know, and they think they could go over there and they could go over there and be what they do over here.
Man, you cannot look. The thing that Japan has that I think that you really living over here, what I think that the best thing that you can get or absorb from the culture is a framework of how we should be doing things. Because like they people are respectful to each other. They don't push in line. They get in line for getting onto the train and stuff, and they help each other out at certain points. Like it's really like I look at it all the time, and I'm like, man, if you could get the so-called black people to behave like this, and plus add our creativity, man, that would be Wakanda. You know, that would be that next level.
Right.
Because I mean, but you can't come over here. People niggas, man, if you punch anybody, you get deported. They don't in Japan's law, the person who balls up their fist and hits someone, that's the person that's wrong. No matter what happened beforehand. If you slap the person, you cool. You can slap a person all day.
So you can slap. So you could slap somebody all day, every day. You could slap somebody.
Yeah, slap them. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the fights that I've seen out here, which aren't many, because they don't do that. Like it's like we're all being productive members of the society. So why would we go out and try to hurt people? Even the Yakuza, the mafia, like everybody has a level of respect for their place. And they say, why Nippon Jin, like we are Japanese. They say it. So, and they have a true nationality mindset. You know, they have that. And man, I think everybody could, I think Moors, anybody who's trying to, you know, put together a nation could just benefit just by observing them. And the fights that I've seen over here is just pushing around. They grab each other's shirt and they jostle each other about. That's it.
So nobody's trying to get their hand cut off.
That's indeed. Yep.
One of the Moors was bringing up about you know, them going to school 6 days a week and children cleaning the classrooms and things like that. So what can Moors take away from the culture of Japan to apply to Moors, since we're coming into our self again?
Yeah.
You know, relative to the children and things like that. Like what type of things do they do there with regard to the children that Moors should adopt and take on over here?
Peace, brother. That is an excellent question. The brother who asked that question, that's an excellent question, man. Because like like I said, we can truly gain something from observing them. Everybody has a sense of responsibility. If it's a classroom, if it's a bus, if it's a train, everybody has a sense of responsibility. And the education system, the only thing is it's the education system. They go overboard on it. Their goal is to crush critical thinking. So that's why you got the perfect ants out here, because they don't think outside of the box. They're like, the rules of this, I'm gonna follow them to the letter, and they will not break these rules. And then it's raining. It's 1 a.m. No cars are coming. The stoplight is red. You can cross the street. Anybody with any sense say it's raining, I'm gonna go home. But they will stand there in the rain, 1 a.m. Wait for that light to turn green.
Right.
And I'm walking. I cross. But you know, it's a little too much like I said, I think if Moors get this framework and put the creativity on it, man, it could be beautiful, man.
Somebody else was asking about the concept of the household child minimum there. There's a child minimum that you could only have a certain amount of children or something.
Yeah, no, that's China.
Oh, that's China. Okay.
That's China where they do that.
Okay.
That's China. In Japan, they're trying to do the opposite of that because they have a low birth rate. So they're doing everything. That's why they let the doors open for the foreigners to come over here, because they know that we can, provide that seed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Carry them into the future.
Yeah.
So they want that, man. They want people to they basically saying, here, take our women and make a new Japanese for us. That's what they want.
Wow.
That's what they want.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
That's what they want. They're looking for it. They're looking for it. And you can go to like the immigration offices or what, they got posters of Japanese women like hugging around. They always hugging around Caucasians though. You never see them hugging up on some Nigerian cat or anybody with the heavily melanated individuals. There's always like some blonde haired, blue eyed cat, because that's the brainwashing. But
yeah. Even there, the attack on that culture and getting them to breed with Europeans or whatever is part of it's part of that program is out there too.
Man, it's out here in full swing. And if you can see it in the culture, anyone who watches any Japanese animation, Japanime or cartoon, whatever you want to call it, everybody knows Naruto, right? Naruto or Naruto, right?
Yeah.
If you know Naruto, you know he's got blonde hair and he's got blue eyes. He's the best ninja in the village. How is that possible?
Right.
He's the best ninja in the village. He's blonde hair, blue eyes.
Wow.
It's all in their culture, man. They, like I said, that period, that Meiji period, right after the Edo, right after the whole samurai thing ended, and then the colonialism. Because remember, the U.S. wrote the contract. They put the constitution for Japan. They made Japan's constitution after they beat the emperor up in World War II.
For real.
So their constitution, Japan is like I won't say it's the Commonwealth of the U.S., but it's, here I'll use the word appendage again. Yeah. It's an appendage to the U.S. It's like the technology department of a company. Like that's what Japan is. And I used to teach English at a school called Berlitz, right? And the first lesson I had there, I go in there with my suit on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be an English teacher. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna help them out. The salary man, the businessman sitting across the table, he looks at me and he says, "You're not my teacher." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm your teacher." And he's like, "But you don't look like the advertisement." And I'm like, "Well, hey, that's what it is, man. Because all the advertisements got Caucasians, Europeans, white. I'm sorry, not white. They're not white. We know that. The Europeans, they got blue-eyed dudes with the English books, smiling and stuff. And he's like, "You don't look like the advertisement." I'm like, "But yeah, that's what it is." And then he says, "Okay, but it's okay. After the lesson, maybe I can get a discount." And he laughed. Right? I was like, "Man, this is what I gotta deal with."
That's what you got to deal with. One of the ones just brought up that you saw the transformation or the colonial takeover in The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise.
Yes, he hit the nail on the head with that. At the end of the movie, everybody dead on the battlefield except Tom Cruise.
Except white Jesus.
yeah, man. Indeed.
Speaking about that, what about religion? What about religion there?
Oh, okay. So with religion, so going back to the the Ainu, or the Jomon people, the people who first started everything, the Moors, basically, they were Moors. They had a religion that was called Shinto, and it says God is within everything, in stone, in river, in tree. Everything has of the divine in it. That was their religion, it's called Shinto, and they still practice it here. But then Buddhism came over, and it got put into like a corporate package, and that's been handed out to the people. And just like you know, the sheep country, they always say, you know, people hear about the God, and they get all teary-eyed and go digging into their pocket. Right. That's the same situation over here. That the Buddhism has been greatly twisted and taken over the Shinto religion. And if I ask them, I'm like, are you Shinto or are you Buddhist? Most people say Buddhist. There's a few people that say Shinto, but most people say Buddhist. And they don't, and I say, well, that's not really yours. What y'all had originally was Shinto. But yeah, they did.
For real. And so Buddhism there is like the Christianity, basically.
Exactly. That's it. That's it exactly. It's the Christianity. It's about money. I teach. I get all kinds of students coming in. I get doctors. I get professors. I get monks that come in, and I sit and I say, "Oh, so you're a Buddhist monk?" Yes. I'm like, well, how did you become? What made you want to go into the faith or whatever? And he's like, well, my father and my father's father and my father's father. So it's passed down through generations here to become a monk. You don't just up and say, I'm gonna be a monk one day. It has to be through family. It has to be through family. But these guys are eating pork. These guys are eating fried pork. These guys are drinking the big beer, not the small size. Like, these guys they basically people. They're just people. They're like, it's business for them. It's a business. It's a job with no tax.
Right. So since you brought up taxes, is there tax exempt money you gotta pay?
If you a Buddhist, you don't have to pay. I mean, if you from the temple, at the Buddhist temples, you don't pay nothing. Collect that gold. That's it. Yeah. Wow. The only people that are tax exempt that I know of are people that are in temples.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
The concept of one of the Moors brought up alphabet gangs. Corrupt police and corrupt politicians and all that. Is that something prevalent, or is it dealt with because they don't play that?
Yeah. So gangs, you mean like street gangs, like
no, like corporate gangs. like highwaymen, police beating people up and government doing stuff under the guise of their government when they're not government or whatever.
Yeah, the government all over the world is basically the same game, right? They doing the same thing. It's same over here in Japan, but police, you don't have to. You never have to worry about the police beating up anybody over here. Look, man, I've seen people push the police and keep on walking, like with both hands, like how you chest push somebody.
yeah.
Like I've seen it. Like that, and the police they don't do. They don't attack. They don't do nothing. They tried to stop me the other day. I'm walking through the station, and he come walking up to me. Excuse me, stop. I kept walking. I ignored him. Excuse me, stop. Do you speak Japanese? And I kept walking. He said, "Okay, have a nice day." And he turned around and left. And that was it. He followed me like down the escalator and everything. But he okay, have a nice day. And I'm like, man, in the States, this dude is resisting arrest.
Yeah. So that what type of or I don't even know if I don't know if the question is what type, because people are pushing highwaymen or whatever, but do they get tickets out there and stuff like that? Like, is there even?
Yeah, they do, but they're not. It's nothing like it is in the North Gate, man. It's nothing like that. Like if people get tickets, it's because they did. Like I mean, they ran the red light or the stop sign. Nobody's like out trying to hunt people down for meeting a quota or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious when I say that the rules, like everybody follows the rules. Everybody follows the rules, and it's a functioning society. You get people, like, for example, drinking. You can drink beer if that's what you into. I don't, but you can drink beer on the street. People walk down the street drinking beer. They drink on the train, and it's no problem. And the police, nobody stops them anything because the people are unruly. Once they drink, they know how to contain themselves. They don't damage property. They don't fight each other. So it's like if they do that, then those liberties will probably be taken away from them. But yeah, no, people follow the rules here, even the police.
Wow.
Yeah, I like.
No, go ahead, Moor.
It's weird. It's weird because like sometimes I get the news of Trayvon Martin or any of those brothers that got gunned down or whatever, and I was there in the States of America, but I've been away from it for a while, so it's kind of like, man, that's still going on. Like I'm not saying I'm desensitized to it. I'm just saying like it's become kind of alien because there's nothing like that out here, not at all.
No, it's not. You're saying that it's a functioning society, and everybody follows the rules. But then on the second hand, you were saying that it's sort of like a run of the mill. You know what I mean? It's a program.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
is it because I mean I'm looking at it like almost like a catch-22. Because you have people govern themselves, right? So they don't need police, but then people could push police and they're not gonna get no tickets or they're not gonna get any type of whatever. They have a constitution there, but the constitution came from the US.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like when they enforce it, are they really enforcing their law, or is there a cultural thing there that only if you're there, you're part of that, and then outsiders basically just see what they see?
Yeah. Okay. So the culture the culture is to be polite. That's not in the Constitution that was given to them. That's Japanese, and that was given to them by. It's like etiquette by the Moors before they taught them everything from how to tie a kimono to how to swing a sword. That's what they still keep carrying on. But like you said, it's part of a program. So it's all been hijacked. So it's like that book, what, 1984, or The Matrix. Yeah, you can have a perfect society, but you have no freedom, really.
Right. That's crazy. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to, before this thought left me, because I just thought about something. Is having a samurai sword equal to the right to bear arms here? Or do people have arms there?
No, there's no guns. There's no guns. And having a sword, you can have a sword, but you got to have a license for it. In that case, it's kind of like that. But it's not like everybody's required to have one. I don't know anybody with a sword. I know tons of people. I don't know one person with. I got one, but it's not. I got one, but it's it ain't maybe I shouldn't be talking about that. I mean, I got a sword, but you know, I ain't going around swinging around. You know, it's just in my room. You know, it's something in my room. But I do not know any Japanese person with a sword.
Wow.
That's that Hollywood, man. That's that Hollywood. The guns are controlled by the mafia, the Yakuza. So when they need to do some work on somebody, they hand the guns out to the hired muscle. These dudes go out and do the job, and they come and they bring the guns right back to the boss, and he put them in a shelf and lock the key up, lock them up, and they don't get them no more. That's it's all regulated. Wow. There's no guns on the street. Or sword.
Wow. One of the Moors was asking about the origin of the hero's pose in Kung Fu movies, or in all of Kung Fu, I mean. Not movies, just in martial arts generally. Relative to the hero's pose.
The heroes, like the TV show Heroes?
No, heroes like the winner, I guess. I'm not too familiar with the terminology.
With their hands up in the air?
Right, I guess so. Yeah. If there's a connection or not a connection, or relative or not.
Well, Kung Fu, remember Kung Fu is Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So karate, that's that's Japanese, but like, hey man, it ain't. It's not here. Like if people do, it's in a school or a dojo. People on the rooftop fighting it out. You know, it's like, yeah, it's not out here like that. Not like that. I don't know. I practice capoeira. Actually, I teach it in a park. I teach capoeira in the park, and that's the only martial arts that I've seen being done outside. Like, I don't see anybody else doing anything.
Wow. Oh, and then with regard to guns, so the police don't have guns either?
Yeah, they do. They have them. They have them.
Okay.
Just like in the States or in the North Gate.
Yeah. So they got their uniform and their police car and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if they'll do what police need to do if the situation's out there. But for the most of the time, the police, the most action they get is stopping people on their bicycles for double riding. Like, you got your friend on the hand. They'll start getting off the bike, and then the people jump down and walk with their heads down like they didn't kill somebody. Like, man.
See, that's the crime out there. Double riding, double riding somebody. That's crazy.
That's the most action they get.
Oh my gosh. All right, yo. Let's get into this more science a little bit.
Cool.
You coming into this information, coming into more science, journey, coming into it, who are some of the people that you listen to, or how you first sparked with regard to?
Yes. Well, the like many people, the Black consciousness that you got who is it? Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine. That was those are the first, that was the consciousness awakening steps. But then after a while, that seemed to get kind of stagnant. So, we started looking for something else, and I got to give peace and props to I Feel the Duke of Tears, man. That's the first text that was like, wow, okay, I can vibe with this.
Right, Islam to the Duke, Islam to the Duke, and that Mother Selena, straight up.
Yes, the Empress. Yes, I like, and I thank him, man, because like I emailed him and asked him some questions, and he's busy like you are, man. Same for you too, man, because you dropping heat on him too, man, and that's blessings, man. Not blessings, power. Yeah. So thanks for that. And after that, now Malachi Z. York. Malachi Z. York. Man, I learned a lot from him. I don't know what's the overall consensus on him. You know, what I don't know what people really think, but I thought he was awesome, man.
Well, what's interesting, just Tuesday, we did an interview with someone who's with a mother who was Nwapu, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And she went in on him for about an hour. So you can just go check that out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that, man.
Yeah. Just on Tuesday.
Went in a good way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was in a good way. It was in a good way.
Okay.
You know, just reiterating the fact that, you know, all these people been knowing what's up. You know, they've been teaching what's up, and once they take the head, the body usually doesn't grow another head.
Yeah.
And if the body does grow another head, it's probably a corrupt version of the original head.
Right. Yeah, man. He was influential with the whole Moor thing, man. Then, man, I guess after that, like, really, after that, it's just been the House of Reawakening Minds, Taj Bay, RV Bay, man. They God, I can't thank them enough. I cannot thank them enough.
No, actually, let's go there for a sec.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of naysayers. There's a lot of naysayers talking BS about Taj Bay, RV Bay publications. What could you counter that with as far as your experience, learning from, studying from master teachers, RV Bay public, Bay?
Yeah. And like, well, okay, you know Rami Salam El?
Me and Rami have a book together, 77 Facts About the Moors.
Okay, yeah, man. Okay, I didn't know that you worked with him with that. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, I contacted him too, man. I reached out to him too, man. And was like, yeah, man, let's start building. And we talked for a bit, man. He didn't get back to me, but I guess he's busy. So, I guess he's busy. So I'll leave it at that. But man, but just like you said, like, that is basically an online university that RV Bay got, man. That's the information that if you were to try to, I mean, literally sit down and say, let me go through what is on this site in order, just go down through it and the links. I mean, it's coursework. It's coursework, and I'm new in terms of coming into the whole Moorish paradigm, and so I'm sure that there's others that like they blade is way sharper. But I have to say that if you can find a greater body of work, please produce it, because that's there for the people and it's uplifting, man. I not only did I uplift myself in it, but I helped my brother out. I've passed that site on to other people, and people are growing from it. You can do that, or you can go to a temple and MSTA and pay dues and get it in increments and take a little bit longer. And I'm not knocking any temple, man. I'm saying that that's the way you want to go through it that way. But there is alternatives, and it's a pretty good one. And that's RV Bay. I don't have anything negative to say. I couldn't find it if I wanted to.
When we were talking earlier, you were speaking about and like you said, you've reached out to some Moors and they were very receptive, and then you reached out to some other Moors and it was a whole different stuff. Let's put those Moors on blast quick, fast, and
yeah. Well, first I'll say this, man, and first, I want to deal with the whole Instagram thing, because one of the first people that I spoke with was my cousin. Actually, he Prince Nasir Bey. He was like, "Yo, let me introduce you to a cat that I know on Instagram." I'm knocking Instagram because Instagram can get some work done, but it's a certain level that it's going to hit a ceiling of Instagram. Like, there's only going to be it's like going to McDonald's. There's only going to be so much you can get there if you chose to eat at that place, which I don't recommend, but you ain't going to get a steak there, right? So same for Instagram. But one of the people, it was a temple in LA. I do not remember the number or the name, but it was a temple in LA. The guy was like, "Yeah, you in Japan? We can start a mission out there. You you can work with us and we can, build stuff." I'm like, "Right, let's go." And I'm like, "Okay, give me the information." Okay, I'll get back to you. Then I'm seeing it all every day. He's posting, hitting Instagram, boom, post, but ain't got time to just drop the simple stuff to help someone get into the temple, right? So I'm like, okay, that's a bust. So I start reaching out to him because it's energy, man. So
right.
Then there was a temple. I think it was Temple 13, I believe. Brother Joel Bratton Bay.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
The Sheik. I talked with him, and on the phone, he gave me information. He gave me that's something that I'll say it gave me a good impression, and that is that, here, taking time out to, just drop a little bit of knowledge on me, but then, then direct me to, of course, the temple and, how to sign up and stuff. But it was too corporate for me. If that's the way other people would like to go, I will not knock it. That's but for me, I wanted to find something more, I don't know, more impact to it, So, and not to say that they ain't doing no work, man, because I see them on the news and stuff, on the papers and stuff, but it just wasn't for me. So
yeah, well, I mean, just so you're updated too, as we spoke about earlier, not every Moor is your brother.
Okay.
So. We know the mothers have, we know Taj Tariq Bey has, and a few other Moors have sat down with those Moors with regard to this kind of naturalization.
Yeah,
and
that's what he told me.
Yeah, and your paperwork being oath of amnesty or whatever. When we know that we don't need a pardon. But that is ultimately saying that, you're going to be pardoned so you could, be free to do whatever you're supposed to do. But we don't need no Lincoln to give us no pardon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need to be naturalized if we're in our own land.
Yeah.
And a key to that also is what you said earlier about the foreigners going to Japan, going to Nihon, and giving up their wherever they came from citizenship to quote unquote be Japanese. But if they're not from there, they can't really be Japanese like that.
That's true.
Right? So they're actually naturalizing foreigners, which is what the government would do, naturalize foreigners and bring them into the Japanese fold. But those people can't go around and say they're Japanese. They might have a card that says that. They might have, some papers or, whatever they give out over there to say that you're a quote unquote citizen. But that doesn't mean that they're a natural born citizen, which is a different status.
Exactly.
you know.
And no matter what they do, they would never be complete. Like we say this, no matter what you can learn the language in Japan, you can go to the schools, you can dress like they do, and they'll smile and talk, but there's a gap between how close you can get to them. Like you're not them. You're not them. And in fact, there was I had a friend who said that his father-in-law said that when he died, they wouldn't bury him in the same grave. They would put him in a different grave because they got a family grave, right? So, and they put the bones all in the same grave. And they're like, no, his bones can't be with our bones.
Wow.
They're like, his bones can't be with our bones. And he was like upset about it. I'm like, look, dude, you enjoy your life. You don't worry about
you worried about some bones or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But they serious about that though. Like, like if you ain't in the family, or you ain't, if you're a foreigner, you get a different grade. So yeah.
Wow.
And that just adds, testament to what you just said.
Yeah. I also wanted to put it out to you. If you had any questions, feel free to throw those out too, so we could, assist you too out there.
Yeah, man. I got tons of questions. And anybody that's listening, anybody that knows Cujo, man, he is a great guy. He is the first person that has actually opened up and just talked like a human being. You know what I mean? Like I'm reaching out, trying to talk to people, and everybody's got something they got to do, and I'm like, if you really about the work, you really about uplifting the people, then if it was me, and if I had a temple, and if somebody came to me, I'm going to be doing everything I can to help this person come into the temple if they want to come in. Cujo.
Yeah, Moor. Oh, you already know how it goes, Moors. When we start building, you already know when we start building, they drop stuff on us. They accidentally push the button. Or maybe his phone died.
Yeah, no, who? My phone?
Yeah.
No.
I was just putting that out there. For the Moors, That's our little inside joke when the thing clicks off all the time. Somebody's phone died, or they lost service while they're outside. You know what I mean? They're on top of the building with the phone tower. but only when they're talking to Moors though. When they're talking to anybody else, ain't nothing happening. They got the most perfect service.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moor.
Yeah, no, but I was just giving you your props, man.
Yeah, give thanks, Moor.
You've reaffirmed the faith. Like man, is there anybody? There's some good people out there, man. Yeah, kudos to you, Cujo.
There's a lot more. Appreciate that. But yeah, well, any questions that you have?
Yeah. I have tons of questions.
Yeah, shoot them out. Shoot them out, yo. Let's see what we can do.
Cool. Like, for example, in terms of, okay, I get it that we don't really have to do anything to be who we are. I get it. But then there's the whole process of the judicial proclamations and name correction, status correction. So one of the issues that I had it's the reason I couldn't do it with RV Bay is because they wanted two witnesses with Moorish titles, and I don't know anybody out here. Like I swear, like there's got to be some more Moors, but
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I've searched high and low, and I ain't came across nobody. So,
Right.
So how to go about, like, is that required? Is it required to have, like, because I would like to do that. You know, and I just don't. Yeah.
Well, we just went to a place out here in Montreal where they have where it's a French speaking place. So what we're looking at is addressing them in their language. So this might be something that I'm gonna connect you with the mothers, because you probably need a Japanese version of the judicial proclamation. Of the judicial proclamation.
Why would I need a Japanese version?
Yeah, because you're there, and then they.
Okay, so I have to do it here?
No, well, when they witness for you, or when you get your witnesses, it should be Japanese. It should be written in Japanese opposed to English, because that's who you're dealing with, or both or both of them, both languages. Because remember, majority of people that they deal with are English speaking people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I think as far as the witnesses, like it's more in your favor to have proclaimed Moors, declared Moors witness. But if you have people who are on the same wavelength with you mentally, you know, and they might come around eventually, just have them put their LRB on it and let them be your witness. So like you were saying, you know, like you have, you know, your couple people out there that you deal with, they might not be on the science like that, but the fact that they're around you and they know you and whatever, you could try that route. You know.
Well, you know, what about? Because I was trying to think of, like, okay, there got to be a workaround or a way to do it, like for example, a power of attorney, like.
Right. Yeah. Like one of the Moors was saying, like a character witness. Yeah. Okay. But you know, if it's not something that they do, but you know, with regard to circumstance, I'm sure that they would accommodate being, you know, where you are, and fact that you're not able to do that. You know, I mean, majority of people, they got somebody around them, they could get their witnesses. You know what I mean? Or they could send it to Moors in different territories, and Moors will witness their stuff. You know what I mean? But the transport of the document to different Moors might just extend the process longer than it has to be, opposed to you just sending it to them directly, and then maybe them witnessing it for you on a, you know, on a pass, just because of the situation. But I'm gonna definitely get at them about that and see for you what's the best route for you to do that. And also with regard to the language thing, if it's worth having it in Japanese or just doing it in English. But you know, if you're somewhere where the language is predominantly Japanese, you might want to do it in that language.
Well, but okay, I hear you. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit lost. Like, why do I have to do it in Japanese? Like,
it's not.
Like, couldn't I?
Yeah, it's not that you have to, but I'm just looking at it that, you know, if you're sending, you know, sending the writ to them as a notice, they're gonna want to read it to know what you're giving them notice for.
Right.
But if it's in a language they don't speak, I mean, yeah, but you kind of want them to read it, even if they're gonna say, well, you know, I don't want to deal with this or whatever like that. You don't want them not to deal with it because they don't understand what it's saying. You know what I mean? You want them to not deal with it because they're saying, well, we, he's not in our jurisdiction anyway, so we don't got to read this.
Okay, so do I? For example, my brother, he lives in on the West Coast.
Right.
If I could I don't know, use his jurisdiction? Like, you know what I mean? Like, can I say if he's able to, to go and do all of the stuff. I mean, I could do the paperwork, but give it to him, send it to him, and then he can, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that maybe that would be another.
Yeah, I mean, even
I really don't know.
Yeah, even with the thing of witnesses, even if he might know some Moors. You know what I mean?
He does.
Yeah. You fill it out. You put your autograph on it, and then you send it to him, and then have him witness, and then he'll send it to RV Bay to you, but then they're sending it back to you, opposed to sending it through him back to you or whatever. Right? But we'll as far as that, I'll talk to them and have them call you or whatever like that, so you can figure out how best to do that. Right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that would just be easiest, just for you to build with them and go from there, because even what I'm telling you is speculation. They might already have a way to deal with it already.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, because the only if I want to get it done, I'll get it done. I push, but I hit certain roadblocks, and it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? Like, for example, with RV Bay, they said contact the Great Seal of North.
Right, Great Seal Association. Yeah, Great Seal Association of Moorish Affairs. Yeah.
Moorish Affairs. Yes. I never could get in contact with them.
Yeah.
And they said if you need Moorish witnesses, and I'm all for them.
Well,
I'm like,
when you actually email, there's a number.
Right. And it says you can call them.
Yeah,
you can call them on Thursday, like 2 hours, a 2 hour window.
Yeah. That's just what it is, because if it's anything more than that, these people are gonna have so much stuff in that that they won't be able to get to everything. You know what I mean? So, but there's also a voicemail on those numbers, but they're dealing with mad Moors. But you could also text that number.
Oh, really?
You could leave messages on that number, but priority ones are gonna be replied to first.
I see. Okay,
right?
because I've done it all. I've emailed. I've texted. I've called. I mean, I've done everything that they.
Now the other.
I'm just like.
Yeah, the other part of it too was if your contact with them was in the past 4 to 6, 7 months, one of the mothers was also dealing with a personal thing too, so nothing was getting replied to.
Yes, I remember that.
So they might be backlogged, catching up to certain things. But I'm definitely get your contact to them so they can call you directly.
Man, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, because I just want to. I'm like, because I know I understand like Rami Salam El said, man, like he didn't do none of that. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, we don't really have to do it. And I'm like, man, I respect that, man. I respect that. But if I could get it done,
for sure. I mean, it's and again too, it's there's more we know that haven't done that. They just got their nationality card, don't got no issues. You know what I mean? Just because the energy that they're moving on is, Allah's guiding them.
That's what's up.
Because remember the concept is really what it's about, not the external. So
Right.
it's not about the card and the
Right.
papers and the whatever.
Right.
It's really about the mindset, because
Right.
that's really what's going to save you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's
Right. And
really
that's what
about,
I've been. That's
yeah,
what I've been.
yeah,
That's what I've been rolling with. That
yeah.
I've been like, okay, let me just focus on just do my meditation, just go and get my own connection with divine, and let that be it.
Right.
But if I could do that side stuff, you know, the paperwork, I'd like to do it. But
No.
you know, I'm not.
One of the Moors was also suggesting ad, pulling out a proctor, you know, putting out an ad in the paper about your declaration.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like saying I would like some assistance, or just
no, yeah, just your declaration, yeah. So you would take you know, you use the judicial proclamation as a reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
And write up, you know, an ad. It doesn't have to, because, you know, more than likely it's going to be the same deal. It's going to be the same deal with the papers there as here, that you got to pay by letter or some BS like that when you got to put an ad in. You know what I mean? So the longer it is, the more it's going to cost you. You know what I mean? And then also too, remember that with regard to paper proclamations, that, you know, if you put an ad in the paper, that ad might only run in that one issue unless you pay for it to be in every issue. So if a paper comes out, you know, every day, you know, you're gonna want to have that ad run for a month.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that ad to just run in one issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why, you know, Moors would go toward the judicial proclamation, because now that's getting sent to people directly, opposed to just hoping they see your ad.
So okay, can you like explain that just a little bit more, like because the declaration, from what I understand, is just declaring it to proclaim, to put out, to make a public announcement, so to speak.
Right.
Then and you say so that someone sees it.
Yeah. So the whole idea of the proclamation papers is to issue a notice.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But the notice, as far as the proclamation part, the notice is going directly to, you know, so-called people in government. Right. Like, it's going to them direct. You're gonna put their name on the envelope, and they're getting something certified mail that they're gonna sign for. Whether they read it or not is irrelevant. Point is that they got, quote unquote, put on notice. Right?
I see. I see.
With regard to the paper, you're putting them on notice in the paper, but there's no guarantee that they're gonna see it. Maybe they don't even read that paper.
Right.
But the fact that it still stands, because you could use a reference, because you have the paper. You have the paper, the date of the paper, the page of the paper as your reference point to this declaration that you made. Whether they've seen it or not, then that's up to them. They should have been reading the paper so they can see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you put the ad in, and then you send the ad. You know, you just pick up 50 papers, and then you send the ad to everybody, put them on notice.
Oh, okay.
Right. But again, you know, the paperwork just has a better energy. You got your seal on it, you got your witnesses on it, you got your flag. You know, you have certain things on it that sets the tone for what you're saying to them.
Right.
Right. So when we say judicial proclamation, you know, that's action.
Yeah.
You know, you're declaring who you are, but you also have a paper version.
Okay.
So that it's also a written document. It's not just you standing on the mountain yelling for everybody to hear, you know.
Right. Okay. What? So then, that also does that also hold for, like, I don't know, YouTube videos or other like public media? Like
To a degree, like
okay.
when we um look at, yeah, for example, if we use YouTube or whatever, if you've been running your SoundCloud for a year under L, if you've been
Mm-hmm.
running your YouTube under Bay,
Mm-hmm.
that is a public record. It's just digital.
Right. 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 Right.
But again, it goes back to that thing that, yeah, you have it up there, but you know, are those people who you want to put on notice even going on YouTube?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not, then you're not really, addressing who, or putting on notice who you really want to know. Because it's not really um, like the whole process of judicial proclamation, name correction is for these people who's classified you as Negro, black, colored, and trying to play like you're that.
Right.
And
Right.
you're letting them know.
Right.
That's who you're really letting know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like Brother Inian said, when you have your documents, you have your flag on it and all that, which automatically conveys a national message to whoever is reading it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we've had situations, for example, that like we used to use notaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the notary, but this time we had the seal on the paper.
Mm.
And then we went to the notary. The notary's looking at us crazy because she's asking us, well, why we need him if we got a seal already?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right. Okay.
yeah, and again too, it's a thing of, like if you like, when this is the example that we use for people to get the perspective about the notice. Like, when they're gonna dig up your street and they just put a sign,
Yeah.
and is on the top of it says notice, we're digging up your street today.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Uh,
If you want to drive down the
okay.
street, cool, but don't think you're gonna be able to sue or whatever when your car gets messed up.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
we put you
Okay.
on notice, don't drive down the street, we're digging it up. So don't get mad when your axle busts and all those type of stuff, because you're the dumbass that drove down the street that we told you don't drive down the street. We're digging it up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there's no expectations of them after they put you on notice. That's all they got to do. They're gonna start digging. They don't care whether you didn't see it. You know, if you have any
Right.
questions, they'll have a number on there. If you have questions about this, please call whoever, and then you're gonna call, and
Yeah.
they're gonna tell you, well, we understand that that's your parking spot or whatever, but you can't park there right now because we're digging up the stuff. I mean, you
Right.
could park there if you want. Responsible if your car gets messed up. Don't come to us talking about tractor drove over your stuff, right?
So it's kind of like the ignorance of the law is no
Yeah,
excuse,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. Ignorance of the notice doesn't mean you didn't get the notice.
I see. Okay. Hey, I'd like to shift to a slightly different question.
Oh yeah, Mark, no worries, yo. No worries. Anywhere you want to go, we got some time still.
Cool, cool. I often hear Taj Tariq Bey talk of putting things in a trust,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the estate thing. That's quite comprehensive, but the trust, like what exactly is that? Like I still haven't quite grasped the idea.
Okay, so we look at that again to use the example. You buy a car, right?
Okay.
They tell you register it. You go register it. Now you're driving around and you think you got stuff going on because your car's registered, you got license, you got plates and all that stuff, right? That's assumed ownership because you're really caretaking or car taking, right? And they have the car in their trust
because it's already been hypothecated.
Exactly. But they don't physically have it in their hands, but it's theirs just because you registered it.
Huh.
Because remember what they're dealing with is not the actual quote unquote automobile. They're dealing with the VIN number.
Okay.
Right? So the VIN number's in the trust, not the actual vehicle, just like the insurance is on the plate, not the car.
Okay.
Like they're not insuring the car, they're insuring the plate because the plate is coming from the state. The car is yours, the plate's theirs. But because you registered it, everything is wrapped up in one package.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So like for example, like somebody gets a present and they're only looking at the gift as the present. They're not looking at the wrapping, the bow, the stuff as part of the present.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then they throw away all the wrapping and whatever like that, thinking that, they don't need that. When they don't, but that was part of the present. That stuff came as part of the package. Like, what do you mean that it's not yours? What do you mean you don't want the wrapping paper? What do you mean you don't want the bow? What do you mean you don't want the card? And then people get mad when you just put the card up and you playing around with the stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because the card's part of the thing. The card's part of the gift. Right? So
okay, so then the trust, that means you have to make your own
exactly,
like
and put
VIN number.
Well, not your own VIN number, but you just have to not register it.
Oh,
and then put that, whatever the color is, whatever the make is, right? And then you would have your quote unquote bill of sale. You would have your title of that property, and then you put that in trust.
Okay.
Right. But then remember the whole concept, right? Because what people get caught up in with the whole thing about trust is that, I want to put this in trust so these people can't violate and they can't do this and they can't do that because this is my property. But the real deal about trust is so that you can hand it down to somebody else coming up later.
Right, a lodio.
Right. This is why when you see Europeans and stuff like that, when they talk about trust, they don't have stuff in there for them. If European has a trust, if European has a trust, that's for generations after to get the stuff.
Okay.
It's not for them right now. So if you say I'm gonna put my stuff in trust, technically it's really not for your usage, really. It's supposed to be like all you have is control of it, but you don't, it's not yours. It's whoever's coming up behind you. That's whose stuff it is. Why you put it in trust. So like when they say Johnny's mom and dad died in the accident, so we're gonna open a trust account for when Johnny gets to 18, he doesn't have to worry about school and he doesn't have to worry about whatever because everybody put the stuff in the trust, right? Like Moor just put out that you can't be a beneficiary of the trust if you made the trust. If you,
Wow. Okay. That man. Thanks. That's really that's it. That's it. That makes sense. Okay. Cool.
right?
Cool. Okay. So it's. Do you know anyone who's received, like, I mean, because that, like, the concept makes total sense, but I mean, most so-called black people ain't even thinking like that,
No,
man.
no doubt. That's why
Like,
most, like brother Eliza said, that's why most so-called black people don't own anything.
okay,
And and
yeah.
and even if they own it, the church or the state or whoever comes and takes it when they die,
Mm,
because they thought
mm,
they owned it. They thought
mm.
it wasn't theirs. They thought that a deed was a title to property. And then they're going around
Okay,
talking about deeds and all that stuff when that doesn't mean that you own something. Deed doesn't mean that that's
so the
yours.
title is what?
Title means that it's yours.
Mm,
Right? And then that's where it gets into, okay, well, allodial title
right.
opposed to
Okay.
deed.
Okay. How does one make an allodial title?
If it's again, the whole concept is kind of warped, because L and Bay is the title, the allodial title.
Oh,
The allodial title is
okay.
that it's in your free name, that these people have no jurisdiction over.
Huh. So if you make, that means if you do something and put L or Bay or Al or Day at the end of it, then it's already in a trust.
It's technically already in trust. It's technically already
Okay.
allodial title. But the issue is
Okay.
that we're dealing with a paper society.
Uh,
So if you're
right.
claiming that, you should have something to show, just like we're saying with, oh yeah, you're national. Okay, well, where's your stuff? Well, this is man is
Mm,
mine, so we don't need cards or whatever. Well, yeah, you could say that, but highwayman and stuff like that, you probably want to show them something.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't want to leave it up to
Yeah.
them to interpret, that man is mine. They might not even be able to, they might think you're a crazy person, put you in the madhouse talking like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. So okay, so then let's towards the paperwork. Then, what? How do you go about creating that paperwork?
As far as which paperwork?
The like for example, I don't know, you buy a house and you say this house belongs to um
One place you could,
somebody
yeah.
else.
Okay, I get you. One place you can go for research on that. There's a book called Wise Trustee Handbook.
Wise trustee handbook.
Yeah. So
Trustee.
it's
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's a handbook about creating trust and what
Okay.
trusts are and how they work, and they got it and all that.
Wow.
So
Okay. Thanks. That's a good
you would use that as your reference point for creating it. You might not use what's in there, but the concepts you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get from there, and then you apply your own
Mm-hmm.
volition, and then you create whatever you got to create,
Okay. Okay.
right? Because we're going hard on the theme of um we're going hard on the theme of man knows not by being told. Man knows because he went out and did research and studied.
Okay. Got it.
Like not that
You know.
there aren't Moors out there who's done it, that you can get their trust and then you can, you know what I mean, um do your thing.
What do you mean by that? Like get the interest? Like
Yeah, like just like
you
how
can.
um RV Bay has
Mm-hmm.
everything on the site.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're telling you everything. You don't have to study anything really. You just go to the site and just, because that's them telling you. Right? That's their site. It's not your site, my site, or whatever. That's their site. They put that stuff up there. So they're basically telling you what you need to know.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I see
right?
What you mean.
But, because they understand that lesson, you also have reference points or stare decisis or PDFs or audios or whatever that you can do your own research on top of what they told you.
Right.
Because it's not just merely that somebody told you they know how to, so they told you, and then you're just gonna do what they said. Because again, it's energy.
You
know what I mean?
That you can build on, right?
Right, that you could build on. So, unlike the judicial proclamation, which is a standard, you don't have to build on that. That's saying everything that needs to be said. Right? Which is why, they don't deal with people who want to take that and change it and add their stuff to it or whatever, because that's been going on for the past 10 years.
So you say change it, you mean?
Yeah, like amend it. Yeah, change things in it. They might say,
okay.
For example, Moors in Canaanland might say, we want to put Canaanland, North America. Well, if Canada's in North America, what do you need to put that for? Just put North America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just leave it as North America, because it's already saying that. You know what I'm saying?
But there are some people who try to change it then.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why it's set up how it's set up. You know what I mean? That you have to send it in to get it sealed.
I see. Okay, that makes sense now.
Because when you send it in, they're gonna see that, okay, this is how it is, or this has been changed.
Yeah.
And then they could send it back and say, well, hey, you changed something right here. We're not even witnessing this, because that's not our stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't, but remember too that because we're dealing with governmental protocol, right? Through Great Seal, there's a way that things run. So every document's gonna have a seal on it. So some people, their mindset is, damn, if I can jump my document, then my stuff is gonna be, because my thing is saying way more than theirs is saying. So I'm just gonna send this in and try to get. But it doesn't work like that. These people aren't stupid. They weren't born yesterday that you're gonna send them some adopted paper or something foreign to Great Seal, and you're gonna get the approval. You know what I mean? As soon, it's like as soon as you see the Grand Sheik with the Mark Fez, you should be asking questions. Grand Sheik has the fez on, and then it got jewels and diamonds and his tassels tacked down and stuff. You should be asking questions.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the prophet said don't mark the fez.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly. Right? Just like RV Bay said, don't change the paperwork.
I get it.
Right? So once you change it, you're in violation. But again, man is mind. So what are you really violating? How deep is your violation, I should say?
Right. Man. Wow, this is you know what? This is very helpful. Like, because I keep thinking about
one more thing. Sorry, one more thing before you you can get the Wise Trustee Handbook at moorishdirectory.com. You could download it from there.
Okay.
Moorish Directory. Yeah, .com.
Okay.
moorishdirectory.com.
Thank you. That's excellent.
Yeah, and when the Grand Sheik has the Nike swoosh on the fez, he probably doesn't.
No, there's somebody that has a knife. That's a joke, right?
Yeah. No, one of the boys just put that in the chat, as to stress the point of, don't put stuff on your stuff.
That's
You know what I
funny.
mean? Yeah.
That's funny. Nike food. That's funny. Yeah. But you know what? You give it some time, I bet somebody will try it.
Oh yeah. They probably got it already.
Yeah. Oh man. Yo, but I was gonna say, like, man, and I'm not trying to, put it all the way back in Japan, but I'm saying, like, there's people, like, there's a need out here for it, man. Yeah. There's a need out here for it. Like, I for example, I met a woman from Tennessee, and that's that Tennessee territory, yeah. and she was like, I was telling her about the whole, everything that I could remember, like from Benjamin Franklin setting up the United States in 1754, and all of, I'm telling Lincoln, busting it down, and Prophet busting it down, and they created it. Like, I'm giving her everything I could remember. Yeah. And she was like, wow, this is very interesting. And she even said, I remember this. She said, that sounds scary. And I'm like, well, what's the scary part? She says, well, you mean to say that the United States has been dissolved, but it's still walking around, like it's the hottest show in town. Right. And like that's scary, because that's something that's dead that's moving around. Yeah. And I was like, wow, you put it that way. But and we talk about this, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is really getting to her. And then I'm like, she, maybe she'll take it and do something with it. And then I talked to her a couple of days later. She said, yeah, so I'm going to the Black Women in Japan's conference in Osaka. It's going to be about 400 people at a big event every year. And I'm like, right. Like there needs to be something else to back up. Yeah. Because like Todd said, it's interesting. It's interesting to people, but they don't really know what they can do with it or how they can move with it.
But again, that's but that's due to that same concept that we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? That you got that right now. You got Moors prepping to go to the 100 million Black Man March. But they're more. Yeah. Well, exactly. Right. They have this mindset that they're going there to get people not to be black or whatever. That ain't happening if it's a black thing.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? So and like we say, there's only going to be a handful saved. So you're that one individual that you talk to is not the one. Mm-hmm. You're gonna talk to 500 people, and then one is gonna be the one that's gonna back you 100. Matter of fact, you might even find more people who are Nihon that are game to assist you in putting this word out or waking these people up or whatever than your own people who are there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like we were talking about with the brother, that you were saying Arawak and stuff like that. Yeah. But then as soon as when you say maroon, you're not gonna be confused.
Okay.
Even the dumbest Jamaican knows what a maroon is. Without question.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I keep that in mind, man. Because you know what? Hey, there is a whole community of Jamaicans out here, man. Yeah, a whole community. Like they have it's so many of them out here that they've contacted the I guess you can call it the Jamaican embassy, and the Jamaican embassy talks to the Japanese government, and they have events Jamaican Day.
Yeah.
Festivals and stuff.
Right.
It's a lot of them out here.
Yeah, but that's just they're playing the black thing. That's just like black conference or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same game, just under a different brand. Looking at it as a brand because they think that they're Jamaican.
Right.
Just like
Okay, so Jamaica.
somebody says,
Jamaica.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like somebody says Puerto Rican. But then there's Moors that we know who they don't say they're Puerto Rican. Matter of fact, we like telling this story. There's a Moor, right? Who he doesn't want to get called Puerto Rican ever. He's like, forget that BS. I'm not Puerto Rican. Don't even play quote unquote and all that stuff. I ain't Puerto Rican, right? So he's with some quote unquote Puerto Ricans. Gets pulled over. Everybody gets taken out the car or whatever like that. Search, whatever like that. One guy got kidnapped. 2 guys got tickets.
Wow.
Right? And one Puerto Rican got 2 tickets. He got his ticket and he got the Moor's ticket because they couldn't give the Moor a ticket.
Wow.
Because he said, I'm not Puerto Rican.
Man.
And they recognized, oh, okay, fine. You go over there, you stand over there. We're not even dealing with you.
And he had some idea.
He didn't even have ID or nothing. He was on his mind. He's like, I know that I'm not Puerto Rican.
That's what's up.
I know I'm not that. You're not gonna make me that. I'm not that. I'm not a rich port. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they understood. It's not like they were confused or whatever. They just said, oh yeah, all right, you go over there. We're not even gonna deal with you. Do too. Here's your ticket, and then here's this other ticket because we can't give him one.
And if we could follow that story up, I wonder how many of them was like, you know what, we should be rolling with
Zero.
Boy.
Zero. It's still just him saying that I ain't Puerto Rican. That's why I told that, because of the story you're telling about. There's so many Jamaicans and all that stuff, and we need to go. You know what I mean? Check them. You can. You can. Go there and give out some flyers or something like that, Jamaica Day or whatever.
Right.
It's not like we're exempt, because they are our people. You know what I mean? But just like the brother, don't put me in their stuff when you see us together. You know what I mean? Don't look at me as them.
Well, that leads to the question of it's almost existential when you think about it. Like, am I my brother's keeper?
Right.
Like, what extent? Because to be honest, I'm kind of like, these days, I'm kind of like, you know what? I want to help, but I don't the energy to exert to try to. If a person's listening, they want to know. I'll give 120%.
Right. No doubt. Yeah. But again, too, like, you have to remember, because of the brainwash, right? Because of the brainwash, we have there has to be a repetition. There has to be a program to get them off of their program.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's not just one. You can't just bam hit them and
right. Yeah.
That'll be it.
There might be a few people that you can hit up like that. What Brother Abdullah stresses is use your phone. Show them stuff. Forget talking. Forget dialogue. Tell them go on their phone. Pull up, and then just tell them what to pull up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But use imagery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you get
that'll stick with it.
Yeah. So when you get these original Nihon and all that. Like, for example, one of the pictures that we have up right now, this statue of, obviously, quote unquote, black Japanese guy, right? But his crown is a fez.
That's all right.
You know what I mean? Like, so, okay, well, what you got to say about that? Especially if you got a fez on or whatever like that, what the hell they gonna say? Matter of fact, they might relate you to the guy who's the statue.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to ask another question too, because like I really have a I don't know, I seem to be more attracted to I don't want to say bandanas, but something like that goes around here, kind of like the Corsica Moors, the flag, like and if you go back in like Japanese history or like Korean history, then they even have those.
They have
the same type of band.
Exactly.
It's the same type of band on it.
Exactly.
So I'm like, and that's not there. Like that was given to it.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? No different than when we say Tupac and Prodigy or whatever. They got bandanas on.
Yeah.
Tied just like the Corsica bandana.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then when you check the record, you see, Tupac had his little pose, his Moorish Islam pose or whatever like that. Prodigy studied from the Moors when he was Ansar Allah and all that. So it ain't like,
wow,
that's not the culture. It's not like they're not telling people, you know what I mean? It's just our people are, stuff goes over our people's head, But then our people don't realize that what's over their head is water and they're drowning.
Hey, that's not funny. I should be laughing at that. Yeah, but you're right though, man. It's serious. I'm curious. Maybe you or someone in the listening in can. What does the whole 2020 implication like? What do you think that's gonna like culminate to? Like, is that like a deadline for something? Because they put the Olympics out there to distract people from something.
Well, keep in mind this, that the calendar is 580 years ahead of its time.
Right.
So 2020 ain't for the next 600 years or whatever. We got mad time.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I mean? They can play around like that's in 2 years if they want to. You know what I mean? But after you got played with 2000 and nothing happened, that should have let something should have went off in people's head that hold on a second, something's wrong here. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Something's wrong here.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's right. It's been year after 99 Y2K.
Yeah. You know what I mean? As soon as it 3, 2, 1, and everything shuts down and all that stuff, and everybody's going into panic because oh my gosh, can't believe. Well, no, it ain't 2000 yet. It's only 14 something. You were tripping. You were tripping out there.
Yeah, that's right. 580. Yeah, it's about 580 something years, right?
Yeah.
586.
Right. So we a lot of things is just talk, propaganda. You know what I mean? Keep the people asleep. Because as soon as you go with that concept, they know you're asleep.
Okay, I get it.
You know what I mean? As soon as you think what they know you're asleep. As soon as you say 5,000 for some hair, they definitely know you're asleep.
Man, tell me about
$500 sneakers or whatever like that. You know what I mean? And then when we go to, even when we're talking about that, you know what I mean? What does it look like there? Like you got Japanese there, got their fake hair, horse hair in their head and stuff like that, fake eyelashes, fake nails and all that stuff, or they got their own stuff.
Yeah, They do have fake nails and do have fake eyelashes, but there's no fake hair.
Yeah.
That's a like unless a person is like balding or something.
Right,
they,
right.
You know, go get that medical wig or whatever. Like other than that, no, yeah, they don't no hair. Yeah,
And
I mean, I knew a girl from Ghana that bought a wig, $500, man, on Amazon. And I was like, "Are you sick? Do you really need that?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why don't you just let your hair grow out and you know, lock it up, dread it up, or braid it up?" And she's like, "No,
Nah, because you know, because that's going against the European paradigm. That's going against the white Jesus image of flowing white hair and all that stuff. Blonde hair flowing in blowing in the wind or whatever, like locks can't blow in the wind or whatever.
Okay. So that's what it is. You think they subconsciously try to be like Jesus, then? Right?
Oh yeah, or as close to him as possible, because that's their savior. So you know, I mean, you gotta, you know, if Jesus said, then you know how our people are. They're you know, they love that deification.
Yeah.
You know, they love to be what they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Man.
But you know,
yeah,
no, go ahead, Moor.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, what's the when is the how can I say it? The temple will be putting this out like they should be putting it out. You know what I mean? Like how long? How much longer? That's the question. How much longer?
I mean, you know, it's when people stop looking at sellouts as the temple is when you'll see the change.
Okay.
You know, like when people stop looking at abandoned buildings with Walmart signs and they're standing at the door talking about how come you guys aren't open?
Mm.
And then they're shaking the door and pulling the handle and the guy inside, you know what I mean, empty warehouse or whatever like that, he's just sweeping up dust or whatever. They're talking about open the door, you want to buy stuff? When the people realize that, oh yeah, that's not a temple, that's just a building with a sign that says Moor Science Temple. But when we go in there, they're talking about naturalization, they're talking about pray to Noble Juali, sing hymns, and all that stuff. That ain't no Moor Science Temple.
They got a song?
Oh, they got mad songs about Noble Juali. Not active Moors sing, you know, dogmatized Moors. They got their Juali songs or whatever. Well, really, it's just Jesus songs that they switched the name Jesus, put Noble Juali, and it's still church going on. You know, that's why when you check a lot of these sellout temples, they used to be churches. They got the pews, they got the carpet floor, all that.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they got the pews. You know what I mean? They got the pews in the temple. You know, they have you know, they have nationality card, but it doesn't have a picture on it. And you're supposed to show that as ID. No, just paper. It's a paper card, your name on it, and then that's that.
Why would they decide not to put a picture on?
Yeah, because, you know, they didn't read the part Juali said your nationality card is going to change in your pocket.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But they, you know, they're not really there.
What about what about people that make their own nationality cards? Is that okay? Because this is what I've been thinking. Like I contacted. It wasn't a temple. It said it was called what did they say? Moorish Republic or something like that.
Right.
.gov.
Yeah.
I contacted. This was in one of the contacts. I called the dude up and I was like, yeah, I'm interested in, you know, in joining the temple. And he's like, well, no, listen, we're not a temple. We are the government. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He said, no, we are the government. He said it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The government. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you know,
he said, read over our website. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, when you look at, you know, it's not like they're lying. You know, they are the government. Like Moors are the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But are they really engaged in government activity, or are they engaged in corporate government activity?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, for example, if we look at, like you said, creating your own nationality card. Yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody could do that. That ain't, you know, if you're Aboriginal, indigenous to the land, you got a right to self-identification, right? But if somebody's been self-identifying 20 years prior to you, why would you create your own stuff? Why not just get down with the 20-year-old people and put your put your energy with them, since they've been doing it already?
Yeah.
Which is why we ride with RV Bay Publications, because ain't nobody had a website like that before them. Right? Ain't nobody had nationality cards that you can, you know, use to free yourself before a Great Seal. I mean, you know, as far as ID that is relative to other people's ID out here, regardless of whether they're in America or anywhere else in the world. You know, I mean, somebody says ID, more than likely it should have a picture on it or whatever. It should have name. It should have eye color, hair color, certain things relative to quote unquote identification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're making the claim, you know, identity, then, you know, right? Like one of the Moors said, the concept is get down with unified sameness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so there might be people out there that say gov. There might be people that say they're a Maxim government. There are people that say they're Moorish government. There's people that say that they're whatever. They can, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm gonna go with who I have a personal relationship with relative to this.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go with strangers.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
These guys said their card is the best card, and you know what I mean, it has this on it, and the barcode strip, and you swipe it, and then they're gonna know that you're a real whatever. Well, okay, well, there's been people 20 years now that they don't got none of that stuff that you guys got, and everything's fine. There's no issues.
Yeah.
So what are you really offering that's gonna make me jump ship from where I'm at to you guys rubber dinghy or whatever?
That's funny.
Right? And then you know, 500 people on the dinghy talking about, yeah, we are a nation and all that stuff. Get the hell out of here. You know?
That's funny. Hey, so do you think, like, why? I wonder, like, why not make efforts to, how can I say, consolidate all of them? Like, for example, the one that say a Maxim or Moorish Republic.
Yeah, because
why not they all try to?
Every Moor is not your brother. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Everybody that has a fez on or a turban might not be thinking like we were talking about earlier with the proclamations, right? The corporate cities, mayors put out proclamations acknowledging Moorish Americans, right? And Noble Juali. Temples that have proclamations only cater to their club. Only if you're part of their club do you get the benefits of this proclamation that we got from the city.
Oh,
but the corporate cities acknowledging Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Divine National Movement, Noble Juali as a whole They didn't play that stuff. Oh yeah, this is for Temple 5 and Temple 88 in Tallahassee, Florida. We recognize them as whatever. They weren't talking like that. We're talking about the corporate jurisdiction, not de jure.
Right.
The corporate people were saying, you know what? We recognize Moors globally.
Okay, I see.
We don't recognize that those guys in that corner that call themselves Temple number 88. Or Temple number 22 or Temple number whatever, or the GOV Moors or the US whoever Moors. Right.
So so I'm just trying. So you mean? Cause I'm just trying to figure out that's a good thing though, right?
Yeah. From the position of the position, the corporate jurisdiction acknowledging, it's a good thing for Moors because they weren't playing clubism. They were playing Moorish. They were playing Moorish nation.
I get it.
Like for example, one of the examples that we use recently there was in Philadelphia there was a Moroccan flag raising for Morocco Day, right? And the city of Philadelphia acknowledged a certain day as Morocco Day, and they raised the Moroccan Moorish flag, right? And they gave a proclamation to acknowledge Morocco Day, but they did that for that club. They said, it's Morocco Day, but it's Morocco Day because of this club that we know called Moor Science Temple. It wasn't Morocco Day because of Moors all over the world. Right? It was Morocco Day for this club called Moor Science Temple that we have engagements with as the city of Philadelphia because, they're in our back pocket. Right? So when you say as a free thinking Moor, hey, the Moors have been recognized by whoever, right? But the individuals who were recognized were on People's Court. Are they legitimate?
On People's Court?
Yeah, you know People's Court, the TV show, the court show? Yeah.
No, man.
Is People's Court real?
I don't think so.
Okay, so how real would be this proclamation from a corporate city acknowledging these People's Court Moors as being the reason why there's a Morocco Day?
Not real at all. Yeah.
All right. That's how I look at it. Other Moors might be, happy that they did it and all that stuff. I get it conceptually, but factually, that ain't really what it is. It's really just their club getting acknowledged.
I see.
Right, like for example, even if we use this, you contacting whoever you contacted, right? And all these people ran you on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Right? But then, and you realize that, hold on a second, how come all these 50 are dealing with me like this when this person's a Moor too?
Right.
Like all these people say that they're Moors, but for three people, 4 people, right?
About 4 or 5.
About 4 or 5 dealt with you properly. 20 other ones, you still didn't even get a reply back from them yet.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? That should let you know who's legit, who's really down for the people, and who's really playing around like they're for the people, but they're just playing popularity contests.
eventually, like it has to. Eventually, did you ever see that show? There used to be a show called Highlander, right? There used to be a show called Highlander. Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, right? He would go around, and they were immortals, and at the rule there was like there can only be there can be only one. That's what they were saying. There can be only one. So is that to deal with the? Because I feel like that's what it's kind of like getting to. Like it's these groups popping up, but it's like there can be only one.
No. Check how real it is. Drew Ali said there's one prophet and one temple.
Okay, well there you go.
So if Drew Ali said there's one prophet where one temple, then how come there's all these other people saying that they're the temple, they're the one temple when there's 50 of them saying that? Clearly, all those 50 saying that are a fraud. I wouldn't trust any of them. If all of them are saying we're the number one temple, then I ain't riding with none of them. I'm gonna go over here with Great Seal.
Yeah.
We still give honors to Noble Drew Ali. We still give honors to Moor Science Temple because there are some legit ones out there. You know what I mean? But that concept of all these temples coming together under one banner, that's only happening with the dirty Moors who undermine this. All of them are saying, oh yeah, let's all get together. We are all one grand body and all that BS. They're one grand body now. The body, when they were all taking each other to court about who's the legitimate successor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So how they all one now? Yeah. When they just took each other to court last week, now they're all one?
Okay. So, but if they know that, what is it? What are they doing it for? Like, I mean, they didn't know it for. It's Federal Reserve notes. It's empty.
I mean,
empty paper.
We're looking at, because like you're saying, they know that that's fiat, so it can't be for that they're doing it, right? So
energy then.
It has to be.
Energy?
It has to be just to cause confusion, because that's ultimately what is being done when we just look at it from sincere position. Come up with all this stuff that, oh yeah, these guys got fiat, they got CIA working with them, they got whatever like that. Yeah, we can talk about all that stuff, but really what they're doing is causing confusion. Really what they're doing is they're having Negroes, blacks, coloreds looking at Moors like Moors don't got their shit together. Why would I be part of that? When that's not really how it goes. Moors got their stuff together. Like we're getting calls from Japan and shit. What do you mean Moors don't have their stuff together? Moors have their stuff together when there's Moors in Japan and Netherlands and Germany and all this. What do you mean it's not together?
Yeah.
Because again, their concept of together is what they see the corporate states doing or have.
Okay.
Their concept of things running properly is what they see U.S. doing. That ain't running properly. That's been bankrupt since 33, dissolved and insolvent. What do you mean they're running stuff good?
So okay, then here's another hypothetical question, I guess. But like after, because this is like a roadblock or a speed bump.
Right.
Because the progress is going to happen, right? Eventually it works out.
Okay. Now, if you have a Suburban, is that a speed bump?
A Suburban?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
All right. You don't even feel it.
All right. Exactly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
On your bike,
it rolled over.
On your bike, that's a speed bump.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? But those temples that are doing this, those are the guys who have the Suburban, but they're on a bike.
Okay.
You know those individuals. You know the guy who has the monster truck, but he's going 2 miles an hour over a speed bump.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Right? Because
So it is
it causing confusion. Why would you be going
right.
a 1 mile an hour over a speed bump and you have a monster truck?
Oh, okay. They buying time. They're slowing stuff down.
Slowing stuff down, but they can't be slowing stuff down for them because they're Moors.
Yeah.
Time
Right.
is an illusion.
Indeed.
So they must be slowing stuff down for somebody else.
Mm. Mm. Okay, so okay, let's say that we don't have to deal with the confusion. I mean, let's say that there is no confusion, or for whatever reason, people get their stuff together and they say, okay, we about to take it to the next level. What's after? Like what's after that? Like
that's finish line. What's after is the children getting this at coming out the womb instead of when they're 30 and 40 like we got it.
Yeah.
That's what's after. What's after is these people with their right mind and their chakras aligned and their celestial bodies working in harmony with them and the universe, passing that on to the children. So the children coming out the womb like Kirikou.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going to go fight the evil witch and all that stuff, pull the thorn out her back and all that, make her better again. Because again, you know, just like the trusting, everybody's always looking at now. Oh yeah, me. I'm gonna, I'm this, this is my birthright. No, not really. It's really the people coming up later that we should be really looking out for. Forget us being able to write the travel. How about the people coming up behind us being able to write the travel? Not that we're wrong for wanting to exercise right to travel now in this time. Not that we're wrong for not having to taking taxes off and all that stuff, but it's really for the generations. That's why Drew Ali said new Moors are going to come with their eyes wide open, because clearly Moors who were around him had their eyes closed. They didn't even see what was going on. Clearly the Moors who were around him weren't ready, which is why he even made that statement. Imagine the prophet back then. He did all this work, went all around the country from 1913, and then 1929, all he has is followers. Because everybody who was put in a position to lead are trying to sell him out.
So, hey, I got a question then about that. Cause I read up on CMB and he seemed like, he was, but I hear like a lot of negative stuff. So I'm trying to figure out like what's the real with CMB, man? Like, is he
have you ever taken the Zodiac Constitution, Clock of Destiny 1 or Clock of Destiny 2?
Clock of Destiny.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
All right. So just like we were saying earlier, man knows not by being told. So people could talk all that BS they want about CMB, but you'll know whose side he was on.
Yeah.
It'll be very clear whose side he's on, and it'll be very clear whose side the people who are talking against CMB is on. Immediately, first page, do you read CMB stuff? You realize that people are playing people out here. Because CMB was with Noble Drew Ali 100%.
Yeah, he didn't mark his fez either. Yeah.
Right? He was a Mason.
That's right.
He was a 360-degree Mason and didn't mark his fez. If that doesn't tell you something about CMB and his connection to Noble Drew Ali, then people aren't really studying CMB. Really, they're looking at personages.
Right.
They're not really looking at the info.
Right. Yeah. That's my next. I've been telling myself, man, okay, get the clock of destiny, get the clock of destiny.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pick those up. Pick those up, no doubt. And again, someone just put in the chat, you know, the Moor People's Court acknowledged and told people, so-called branded, that they're descendants of Moors, and he had his hand on his heart and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did, but that's People's Court. That's not no legitimate platform that he's saying that, and then People's Court people are looking at that like, hey, the Moors are on there, and that's amazing that that's People's Court. You know what I mean? It's like it's like,
you think it's staged?
Huh?
It's not staged though.
Oh yeah, people get called to be on that. They get paid to go on there. We know people who've been on People's Court. That's BS.
Yeah. Okay.
People get checks to go on People's Court. They don't just. That's not real stuff going on. That's a show.
Yeah.
Right. But remember, it's reality. It's reality TV.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So we, you know, we know that our people are influenced by media, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, you know, movies got Moors in it and whatever, and those stuff aren't real. You know what I mean? That's just something to show our people that these people know what's up. Right? But when you have something like, because remember, we're making reference to these individuals on this thing outside of it getting recognized by the corporate jurisdiction. Right? Like to the point where, you know, it's ever since Resolution 75 in Philadelphia, they recognized or they acknowledged who the Moors are. You don't need to tell nobody who the Moors are.
Right.
They got Revolution 75 from the 1930s.
Yeah, on congressional record.
What's these guys coming today to try to convince people about Moors or somebody? Clearly, they're you know, it's like, you know, it's like the court jester playing king.
Okay.
And then everybody's looking at the court jester like, hey, yeah, he got the crown on, so he has to be the king now. Well, not really. He's just wearing the crown. That doesn't qualify him. Especially since we know Moors in Philadelphia that did not get the call to go to that proclamation, whatever. But hold on, but they made sure they could do.
Oh, word. Okay.
They made sure that they called Taj to be there. But you know, they didn't call anybody else. How you having Morocco flag raising day and there's 20 people out there? If there's a Japanese flag raising day, how much Japanese people you think are gonna be?
It's gonna be packed, man. It's gonna be packed.
Oh, it's gonna be packed, right? Okay. All right. If there's a Japanese flag raising day, do you think they're only gonna go live on Facebook and that's it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Know what I mean? You think that if any nation out there, anybody who represents their nation had a flag raising day, you think street wouldn't get stuff, and these people have a parade and
that's
all
right.
that.
That's right. That's right.
But they have these Negroes in fezzes outside minus whatever degrees it was that day, right? Reading some proclamation with 20 people there, and this is supposed to be Moors, because this is the they're raising.
Yeah.
20 people are there. That's it. And then the people who they did call to be there, I don't know how, I don't know when Taj got his call, but the people who I know that are at Philadelphia that got called, the people who I know in Jersey that got called, right? They got called like 11 p.m. the night before.
Preparation time, man.
Oh, zero preparation time. If they're calling them at 12 midnight, and the thing's the next day in the morning or whatever, and they've been known for the past 2 weeks that this thing's coming up. They didn't do a flyer. They didn't make a YouTube commercial or nothing to draw all these Moors to this thing. That's how you know that they're dealing with their little club. Get their club some recognition. Make it seem like they're somebody. You're only somebody in Philly. You guys take that proclamation anywhere. Ain't nobody taking that serious anywhere else.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, but Obama did the what did he do? The rights of indigenous people, and Michelle went to the Alhambra, and they came walking back through the double doors with the Moroccan flag on the side.
Yeah.
Like that was like, okay, we did it for y'all, right? Like isn't that what?
Yeah. But again, you know what I mean? That's federal. These guys got some municipal whatever. Okay. Who has the more like, you know what I mean? Priorities messed up. Stuff is out of whack.
Yeah.
Because how you acknowledging and you're giving honors and all that stuff to some people's court Moors or whatever, but the federal, the jurisdiction that sanction people's court and Philadelphia mayor and all that stuff, they acknowledged it. Oh, and here it is. Nobody knew about it until it went on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So they told me, but we're supposed to, give them honors and give them props and all that because, they got that or they did that or whatever. They're not getting no props from me because there's no way. Like we do stuff out here and we do at least a month, 2 weeks promotion when something's going on, especially relative to Moors, and we're putting it on. Right? There's not no night before we're calling people to tell them come to whatever. Night before? Midnight? Not even night before 7 p.m. Night before midnight, they're calling people.
Man. So they were trying to ensure that people wouldn't show up then, right?
That's what it appears like, because if people don't show up, then they get to hypothecate the popularity. They get to push it like, they're the one. Look what we're getting. Look what we made happen. We made this happen.
Okay, I see what you mean. So there was a temple that did all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was under the impression that it was the city that was doing it, but no, it was a temple that did that.
Yeah, but the temple in that jurisdiction, because they already have relationships with the municipal jurisdiction.
Right.
You know what I mean? This they just came out of the blue and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this." This is something that there was a plan for this, and they told no one. Told no one. Like I'm saying, find me any nation that's having a flag raising and everybody in that nation is not trying to be present. Like for example, like I went to Seattle, I went to Virginia, I went to Louisiana, and went to Philly. Moors traveled hours to come to the lecture. That's just a lecture.
Wow.
Went to Florida.
Wow.
Moors took bus and all and stuff like that to come to a lecture. Hours, 8 hours on the bus for a lecture. You tell me Moors wouldn't have showed up for this flag raising, whatever? Please.
Because they knew they would come.
Please. And then at that same time was Super Bowl, and then they took down all the flags on the parkway.
For the Super Bowl?
Yeah, so in Philly, when they won their stuff, right? They took down all the national flags on the parkway and they had Philadelphia Eagles flags.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
While this thing's going on.
Oh, so when that flag raising was going on, that was the Super Bowl time.
Right.
Oh man, they made sure nobody was gonna know that.
Okay, all right. But you saw the footage of the Super Bowl parade stuff and all that?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. How much people were out there?
You couldn't count.
Oh, okay. And Philadelphia Eagles don't even have a flag. That's a banner.
That's right. That's right. It's a banner. That's right.
And people rep that in the millions.
Yeah.
But these Moors had the opportunity to really break the camel's back. But they said, nah, we're not gonna pile on, we're not gonna all pile on the camel right now. You know? We're not gonna end this today. We're gonna buy some more time.
Okay, so they buying time for what? Like what? Why buy the time? What like?
Yeah, because they're the sellouts. Those are the agents. Like we said, their position is keep this passive, not active. Keep this thing so low that you know what I mean? Even you know, in a Fez tomorrow, these people still not gonna proclaim because they think it's BS.
Yeah.
Because everybody else pretty much already did it. Everybody else pretty much put it on the record that, hey, we're Moors. You know what I mean? From movies to news broadcasts to you know what I mean? TV shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like it's not something that it's not like they're not telling. These people are, you know, freaking Europeans and whoever are doing more to tell people about their Moors than Moors are doing. These Moors didn't even tell anybody about Morocco flag waving day.
Man.
You know, and then everybody wants to go to Wakanda, but nobody wants to recognize the Moor in there with his vest on.
Yeah, that's right. There was I remember in that Wonder Woman movie, main characters was a Moor. Like he was running around with the feds the whole time. Like on Wonder Woman's side. And I was like, yo, right there in their face. Yeah, it's out there in the media.
Right.
Man. I don't know. I think if I don't know, like what I mean, we can't say like when I movies.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to look. What's gonna make
You're getting shot up right now. They're still not.
yeah.
That's what he said. It's only going to be a handful saved with fingers left over. So don't worry about tribal and all that stuff. They're not. They ain't about. Not about wake up people.
Right. So then be wise to say that maybe it's best to focus on those that are willing to move forward with it, and those that are already moving, and just focus on that, and like anybody,
exactly,
like
and anybody who's against that, put a noose on them and hang them from something. because they're not about unity. They're not about the family coming together. They're about causing confusion and keeping the family separated. Right? Just like in Japan, they want to be slapping everybody. They don't want to be punching people.
That's right.
When they should be about punching people. Right in the mouth, right in the nose. Just because this is our birthright and we know what's up. But nah, these people want to slap people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And again, it's not, we we know we can't call the clan or whatever, burn a cross on their lawn. So we do videos and stuff and just expose these people as dirty. We know that we can't run up on these people and kidnap them because we know they're dirty. Like there's people out here, we know they're dirty. It's not even a secret that they're dirty. We know they're dirty. But, we're not in a position to do like China and stuff, put people on the wall for their corruption.
Yeah.
Like we're not there. So most we could do is, put Christmas lights on them, blinking lights, and flick the switch so people could see these people wrapped in Christmas lights and no, don't mess with those Moors because they wrap you in Christmas lights so everybody knows who you are.
Okay, I see.
Because again, like I'm saying, we've been riding since 2008, and we haven't came off of our boat. We're still on the same boat. We're the same master teachers. Right. We ain't brought no new people in because they said that they know something. That ain't what's going on with us. We already know what's up.
Indeed.
We already know what it takes. We've recognized that the handful saved ride with RV Bay, Taj Street Bay, Asir the Duke of Tears, Ali Mel Bay, Hakeem Bay. Like the ones who aren't on this talk BS about those people. The ones who are against this talk BS about those people that we consider master teachers. They don't consider them master teachers. Oh yeah, we respect them, because they're elders and all. They're not playing that BS with me. I don't buy that BS. They don't respect anything. These people are sellouts. They don't support activity. They support passivity. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing far-fetched. You know what I mean? But I know you're going on about 24 hours being up or whatever. So
yeah, man. Yeah,
I know the energy.
You know what
I know the energy goes good, but as soon as you get off this call or whatever, you're gonna crash.
Hey, that's what's keeping me up right now. I'm like, yo, because seriously, man, I can't stress enough. I'm sure that there's more out there that have started stories and stuff of how they started. They had difficulties in the beginning. Like this to me is a major breakthrough, man.
Yeah. No doubt.
You got to understand. Like for just last week, I'm like, man, what am I going to do about this?
Yeah.
And now here I am on a call
yeah.
with people answering questions and stuff. Like this is like it's almost like
it's surreal.
Day and night switch,
it's surreal.
Man.
Yeah. So straight up.
Man, so mad props. I'm thankful beyond words, man. I really appreciate it.
Honors to you, Moor. Honors to you. You know what I mean? Give thanks for taking the time to reach out today. And
man.
And the, all the Moors that were on today, all the Moors that were in the chat, all the Moors that probably gonna watch this or whatever, send their big Islam to you. Send their big Hewa to I.
Yeah.
Right. Muahito ni Hewa to I. I'm probably butchering that.
Can you say it again?
MUA HITO NIHEIWATOAI. We'll just say Islam. Until we get our. But I'm gonna send that more because we have brother Isbay. He's another international Moor. He got about 80 languages or something like that. So I'm gonna send you his contact so y'all could build.
Man, I appreciate it.
And we're here, Moor. Anything you need, I mean, reach out. You know what I'm saying? And again,
I think I just want to throw this in there, man, because man, I do the music. I got like a whole I got like maybe 3 years of music of just recently it's getting into I call it the Moorish music, but it's on SoundCloud.
Put all your plugs or websites or whatever you got. You know what I mean? Put all that out there right now so we can support you with what you're doing, bro.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. I sent the email link. I sent the link to the SoundCloud to your email. Just before the call. But I don't know if you put this on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind posting, man, that would be much appreciated, man.
Yeah.
But it's just a SoundCloud link. Sound can find me under Patah Atom Zara L PATAHATOM ZARAL. That's the name I was just using for music. But that got all of my SoundCloud stuff. Or dn8studios.com. That's not DNA, that's DN8.
DN number 8.
Yeah.
DN8studios.com.
Yeah. And all of the music that I put on SoundCloud, actually it's got my SoundCloud link on there too. So that's I'm doing my little EP called Moorish Music. I got five of the tracks out so far. The Moorish music, Moorish, more money, more magic, more moons, and more mentality. Every 22nd of the month, I'm trying to, roll with the cycles in times, natural cycles. So every 22nd, every month, I put out another track. So
Islam.
Yeah.
And we'll be closing out. Yeah, we'll be closing out with a couple more from what you sent. So we'll definitely get the word out. Yeah, we'll definitely get the word out. And again, you know, appreciate you taking the time. I already know it's different time zone and all that, but you know, thank you for your livocation and commitment to the nation and assisting Moors with some clarity about Nihan and about the Ainu and you know everything else that we built on. Much appreciated.
Yo, man, no problem. And I'll say this: if there's any more that want to come out here and try to set something up, man, get at me, man, because I'll see if we can get a venue or whatever, bring some people in or whatever.
Right.
Man. So, yeah, I'm ready for it.
All right, Moor.
Are you gonna put this? This is gonna be on that Canaanland Moors.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Page?
Yeah, that's where we were streaming live from. Yeah, so the whole time. So we had about between 30 and 50 fluctuating tonight.
Okay.
So there was a good bit of Moors on there, but then also too, you know, that's just what we're seeing. It could be 400, 500 people on here. You know, we really don't know because they're always messing with our stuff.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You know, but honors to you again, just again to put out the link, soundcloud.com/Patah Atam Zara L PATAH ATOM ZARAL, and then the website DN8 DN8studios.com.
That's it. That's it, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna be sending you some PDFs, man. You know, for the temple and whatnot. Man.
Yeah, no doubt, more. No doubt. We'll definitely continue building, bro. And I'm gonna save you up. And for the Moors out there, just hit the SoundCloud, hit the website, email the brother, Dirty Moors. Leave the brother alone. He's not bringing you to Japan. Get the hell out of here. Everybody's gonna get confirmed before Moor talks to you. So don't even think that we don't got it unified around here. You know what I mean? All right.
Indeed.
So Islam once again, Moor, and we'll definitely keep the connection, and we'll keep it Moorish, of course.
Islam, yeah, indeed, and yo, peace to all that was listening, man. I appreciate it, man. Yo, thanks.
Islam, Moor. The Moors send it out, and they say peace and love to you, yo.
Thank you. Islam,
Moors. So we're just gonna close out with the Moors music. Make sure you show support. Continue to grow. Continue to show love. Continue to speak truth, so we can have peace and freedom, and don't have to bring out this scimitar for justice on these people. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Give thanks for your time today. Peace.
You're listening to a beat by Junior. You are rocking with DN8 Studios. Magic, you doubt that we have it. Check my lineage, wizards are all in my family. I get with witches, that's good with the magic. They are not bougie, don't get who's the baddest. My circle's working on the master plan. They bring the magic from the west coast back again. And you see me as a Moor with the physical frame of any god when I rock on the astral plane. Listen, all letters have numerical the preference. I spell for myself, you can tell when I'm spelling it. MOORKRST.
If you give me a better you, and that would be the best me.
Plus, these savages just reaching me, grabbing, but we the first on the planet. So from birth, perfectly happy. We got it, it's automatic. And you don't want static. So watch your approach, cause we hope more magic.
MOORAGIK. Okay. Hey, baby, I can make it happen. MOORAGIK. Okay. West side, west coast, going ladies. The first style, we play for magic. People laugh.
They call you murder.
And there were 30 minutes. December 14th version. Born on the West Coast, so I enjoy magical music. Yeah, this beat's from Junior Bounce. We celebrating in the twilight time, cause at the time of immortal, so my magic will never die. California was never to the ever-living Moorish Queen Khalifa, but you call it Westside. You see, the Moors are responsible for the world's magic systems, not just in California. From Cabana, astrology, to elemental magic and alchemy. Voodoo, Candomblé, Yoruba, Olodumare. What do these systems have in common? You can find it if you got more magic. Mooragik, okay. Hey baby, I can make it happen. G-I-K, magic. M-O-O-R-M-A-G-I-K, okay. West side, west coast, going ready with this beautiful style. Playing more magic's and tools, but trick to them fool you. Just like with the stars like we do, and like when I line up with you.
Magic is an everyday habit, cause my imagination is from the days of Atlantis and check our bloodlines. But you find what resides deep inside is divine. It's time we rethink our pedigree. Never seen blood in our fathers. No muggle mothers from time that we started. Like Voldemort, our more magic goes farther. But let me stop, this is not Harry Potter or even Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. I know some niggas that work magic with nines on the streets or semi-automatics, but when the Moorish flags out, we drop the bad habits and pick up more magic.
M-O-O-R-M-A-G-I-K, okay. Hey baby, I can make it happen. G-I-K, magic. M-O-O-R-M-A-G-I-K, okay. West side, west coast, going ready with this beautiful style. We play more magic. Junior Beats, beatstars.com. Yeah.
Hey, Junior, you work some magic with this one, bro. It's still riding on. You're listening to an Ultra 5 beat. You are rocking with rock with me, baby, come and bounce for a minute. More than just black, we are more than admit it's time for the numbers to rise. We taking nickels and dimes and they convert them into Japanese yen. Then it's Canadian CD, euros, move them to dollars, convert them to ruble. How these international rates go in the States to the UK with pounds of pesos. Wars created the currency system way before these other humans existed. Currency's yours, my niggas, so why do you feel that you need to rock to get it? Talk niggas that we demigods, and we more so. Of course, we defy the odds, making investments by a billion shares and defy the stocks. This is for the numbers, cause we really want to get it. We've been running through the market, like we running through the city. Got my baby beside me, got my ladies beside me. But money because the Moors are inside me, I've been counting Chinese, you are even cooking on, baby. Before they get it on, shekels and francs and Swiss banks, so slowly they get broke. We got no recourse, so we got enough.
You don't know what demigods control. Let me show you how we roll. We get more money. I roll with a team of titans. The girls, they like it, cause we're stronger than diamonds. But you don't know how strong my girls can go. So let me show you how we roll. We get more money. I flow with a team of titans. The girls, they like it when we bouncing just like this. Bounce, come on, baby, let's roll. To the empire, there's a throne. Got some money I need you to hold. No stacks, keeping it rolls. Woo, it's so exciting, this higher level existence. So let me hold you, let me show you. Open doors, I'm pushing slow. See my money and my night in. Humans can see them in life, and we're Moors, of course, we're different, baby. Demigods and titans, but they don't know about the gods. They don't know how our love makes more money. Let's show them, baby. If you don't know what demigods control, let me show you how we roll. We get more money. I roll with a team of titans. The girls, they like it, cause we're stronger than diamonds. But you don't know how strong my girls can go. So let me show you how we roll. We get more money. I flow with a team of titans. The girls, they like it when we bounce into.
No longer liking me. Time and power reside either side of me. You can no longer tell me I gotta be living in poverty. Open the doors to a Moorish economy. Theocratic aristocracy gotta be twice, I know me. Throw your hands up, better yet stand up. Bank account won't be as big as a panda. Nah, like I was a god in Atlantis. I could be hieroglyphics, no practice. Give it all for the planet, and for the world of today I was planning legacy. And monetary solution and answer. You can put currency to you if you rock with the music. It's true when you dance. I know we never thought that we would talk as we about 1,000. This is where Moorish Atlanteans are center guarded. Bitcoin is started by digital artists. We don't use credit cards, that's just retarded. If you don't know that my money is out of this world, get at me, we can meet with the Martians.
You don't know how strong my girl can go. Let me show you how we roll. We get more money. This Monday motel.
You're listening to a beat by Young Medic. I bring you more music, to wield the shield and the sword to it. Prevent the war, looking forward to it. Forevermore with the night at my side. And on the other side, time rides, time is alive. We are immortal protectors, once more with the baddest on this planet.
Wait, where are my manners?
You are rocking with
Studio.
Our immortal protectors, once more with the baddest on the planet. Cause the sun take the global warming back at your ass and put up your hands, baby. Cause we got more than they telling me. More than these rappers and actors and ghetto streets. More than a little beat, more than a spoken word to speak. But think we are more like a melody. Not from the universe, but a fucking verse or song. I'm on infinite earth, what verse are you on? Listen.
I love when she called me baby. She said she's from another dimension, that's just crazy. She said, baby, there's a little more to it. We can make more music. I love when we out in the club. More girls and more guns with nobody bugs. More optimal movement, more improvement, more rockin' and more music.
More music can raise morale, it's like the crowd drink morphine is keeping them down. But I can't worry about that anymore. I'm on the powerful things beyond the Lord of the Rings, so call me Mordor or Merlin. It's all the same, baby. Be my magic lady like Morgana Le Fay. Baby, I'm a magic in the system. It's like they tried to overwrite the history, but they missed me. I'm more resistant, like the Moors did a little bit ago when they beat the Visigoths right back to their home. We are the children of the armies of Hercules, station where Atlantis used to be. You see why demigods are part of me. It's more miraculous the way that we battle. We're immortal on our enemies. Time will attack them, and that's the way that you prevent a war. I'm spending time with my baby more. She's at a human state, but later maybe more.
I love when she called me baby. She said she's from another dimension, that's just crazy. She said, baby, there's a little more to it. Between these sheets, we can make more music. I love when we out in the club. More girls and more guns with nobody bugs. More optimal movement, more improvement, more rockin' and more music. Tomorrow, we're gonna be more, but it starts with the beat though. We're friendly and more race. Y'all even don't say so. Maybe you believe that I have all to play though. And I can feel it in tomorrow. My face, it makes me wanna take this love. And my queen's more than see me and more, getting more music, that's what I'm playing.
Stay cryptic like I was crypto. That discovered he was Martian, so Mars was his home again. And like me, I've been listening. Cause when more for you speak, you think it's air that you breathing in. Take more greatness straight from the Matrix. Wolf gang, I'm a Deus. Mozart, help me make this. We do it like the true composers do it. We got your girl ready to drop more this music.
I love me, baby. She said she's from another dimension, that's just crazy. She said a little more to it. Between these sheets, we can make more music. I love when we out in the club. More girls and more guns, but nobody bugs. More optimal movement, more improvement, more rockin' and more music. Baby, more rockin' and more music. You're my way for some.